Welcome everybody to Good Movies Podcast. This is our graveyard sessions, our month-long, I guess, tribute or month-long exploration of horror. And we have Mike joining us now. So, as usual, we have Sean from Movie Assault, and Kenny from Kenny's Movie Palace, and coming in right now, we have Mike from Mike's DVD and Blu-ray collection.
Hey guys,
Finger guns.
Getting the grand entrance.
How's everybody?
Not bad. How are
Doing
you?
good. Doing good. You got here
Just in
Right
time,
on
nick
time.
of time, almost.
Yep. running a couple seconds behind. You're a little bit further west than me, Mike, so you're just a little bit behind.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah.
Shouldn't make too much of a difference, but
They live in the same state, but yet they live so far away.
well, you're in the same time zone, aren't you, John?
Yeah.
Eastern. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just joking because
Yeah, I know. I was just wondering. That always gets me though, because you go a certain part, like past when you get on the bluegrass, or not the bluegrass, you get on, and it changes at that one point. And it's kind of throws me off.
it's like Mountain Time or something like that, or Central Time or something.
Central time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like living like on the East Coast side, and then your school is going to Central Time?
Ugh.
Yeah. That would be
That
so
would
weird.
suck, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Or if you lived like really close to that line and you worked in the other time zone, so
Exactly.
you're always having this
Yeah.
be aggravating.
That would be. Yeah.
Tonight we were going to talk about, I guess, Abbott and Costello a little bit. Tonight's kind of we were kind of going to have themed nights for our horror this week or this month. We're going to kind of have themed. I don't know how themed it'll end up being because we've got 3 guests coming up in the next following weeks. So,
Cool.
so we had talked about doing like a comedy theme night. So I guess tonight's going to kind of be that. And I guess we're going to kind of talk about Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein and maybe some of the other movies as well. And just in general, I guess comedy, horror, whatever comes up. But I don't know. I know we'll have kind of some themes because I know we're going to have at least one night's going to be like zombie themed, and another night with another guest, we're going to have kind of found footage kind of themed movies in the horror. So, and I don't know what's the name of your guest again. I'm sorry, I forget his
Mr.
name.
Dan Horror.
Mr. Dan, yes.
Yeah, he does. He likes a lot of Hammer
Okay.
horror. So
Cool.
I'm
Okay.
excited about that.
Well, that's good because we discussed doing Hammer as well. So I think we covered
Right.
kind of all the bases we wanted to cover for the most part. Yeah, that'll be good. So what do you guys want to get started talking about tonight?
Mike, did you watch anything interesting this week?
Well, I did watch Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. I was going to watch it anyways. But yeah, I've been actually watching some Hammer films. Some ones I haven't seen before, like Plague of the Zombies and stuff like that. What else? I watched some random Westerns and stuff too, but I've been trying to stay on the scary movies every week,
Mhm.
So, I watched The Black Cat. It's a Boris Karloff movie.
Yeah.
It's got Bela Lugosi in it. I watched that last night with The Raven. That they're both in again in that one too. But yeah, stuff like that.
Cool.
Mostly.
Yeah, we were talking before you got here, Mike. Off the air, as the kids say. Sean's a bad influence on me, so I actually ordered one of his top 15 movies of the 20,000 Fathoms.
Oh yeah.
Movie that he reviewed on his. I'm like, Sean, I gotta stop watching this.
Oh,
channel
I didn't know you ordered that one.
Yeah, I literally ordered that today because I watched the review and I'm like, I don't have that one. So
Yeah,
the Ray
that's a
Harryhausen
fun one.
film. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good 50 sci-fi movie right
Yeah.
there.
We have to have a week of 50 sci-fi 1 week too, because
Oh,
I
absolutely.
love
Yeah.
sci-fi.
Atomic
Yeah.
Age stuff. That's
Yeah.
those are hilarious and fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
Yeah.
all the ones with the giant stuff. Like there was
Yeah.
all those movies with giant women, spiders,
Yeah.
Ants.
all this ants.
Because
Yeah.
I know me
Yeah.
and John are me and Sean are big Godzilla fans.
Yep.
So I don't know how you guys
Yeah.
are about that. So it was just like when I seen about he said Ray Harryhausen, I'm like, I don't think I have that, but I have it coming now.
Which one is it now?
The Beast of the 20,000 Fathoms.
Yeah, Beast
I
from
think I've
20,000
seen that
Fathoms.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that
1953.
one.
I
so,
seen that
yeah.
like in the 80s, but I literally thought I had it like part of like one of those like sci-fi collections I get. And when I like looked it up, I'm like, damn you, Sean, like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like one that I would want to watch again,
Yeah. Yeah, it's one I revisit from every now and again. It's almost because I do a series on my channel every October called the Halloween 15, and I
That's it.
watch 15 horror movies for the month of October. And last year I did It Came from Beneath the Sea, which is another Ray Harryhausen film.
Mhm.
And when I started watching Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, I'm like, it's like It Came from Beneath the Sea is almost like a virtual remake of this movie because it's the same general
Mhm.
premise. Something big comes out of the water and attacks the city, and
Yeah.
there's another movie called The Giant Behemoth, which is almost a remake of it too. I can't remember when that one came out, but
I don't
it's
think I've
a
ever seen that one.
I
yeah,
don't
it's
think
like
I've ever seen it either.
it's I can't remember who did the
I'm
special
looking it
effects
up
for
now.
it. Yeah, The Giant Behemoth.
Yeah, I missed that one somehow.
I want to say that's from
I feel like I've seen that
57,
one.
59.
59. Okay.
Yeah.
And
And you know what the problem with these movies are? They're nowhere on streaming services.
no. Mm-mm.
No, you have to like Eugene Laurie directed it. If that helps you.
That's
the
where
same guy that's the same guy that directed Beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's where physical media comes in hand.
Yeah.
It's not available anywhere else, and
Oh no,
exactly.
my internet's down. I have nothing to watch.
yeah.
Yeah, so he did I heard of Naked Kiss, but I've never seen that before.
Is that a
has,
Eugene Laurie film?
Yeah, I'm looking at that's on Max. So
Here's the poster for it.
oh that's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if I've seen that or not either. It looks good. I have like
Yeah.
a Ray Harryhausen Blu-ray collection, but
Oh, you do? You sucker.
Oh, is that the 4-film one with like Seventh Voyage of Sinbad and Earth versus the
Yeah.
Flying Saucers? And yeah, I have that. I love that set.
I seem like it's got more than 4 on it though. I think.
It's
I
4 or
think
5.
it has 7. Doesn't it
Does
have
it?
7?
Hmm.
I think I seen a set that was like had 7 of them, but it was like $100 and some, like on
I'll have to
on
look over
eBay
here.
and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna look in my
The
collection here.
the set that I have, Ray Harryhausen, it's in a big box, and most of it is this. It comes with this plastic figure, like a.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
That's
and
cool.
it's movies like Earth versus the Flying Saucers, and I think it has like 6 movies, but it's got that. I'm trying to think of what movie that's from, but yeah, it's a pretty cool set. There's quite a few Ray Harryhausen sets.
Yeah, the
out-
set that
out
I
there.
have is I don't know if you can see my phone. Probably not because of this is
Yeah.
the set I have.
Okay, yeah,
And it's got 4 movies. It's got 20 Million Miles to Earth, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, It Came from Beneath the Sea, and Earth versus the Flying Saucers.
Okay,
Mm.
the one I was talking about, guys, on I don't know if you can see my phone or not. Let me just see.
Oh wow, that's
Oh, okay.
That's $60 on eBay. I mean,
Oh.
on Amazon, and it has 7 movies on it.
is that from Australia? I think that is what that is.
Let me look.
I think it Is that I think it might be the Umbrella release or something.
That's
Oh,
what
okay.
because I have umbrella titles and I do not.
Okay.
It's region free. This one comes with it came from beneath the sea, Earth versus Flying Saucers, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, Three Worlds of Gulliver, Jason and the
Hmm.
Argonauts, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, and Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, I don't
That looks
really-
like I have more to get.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
I have Jason
Yeah.
and the Argonauts. I love that one. That one's out of print as a single disc.
I don't know
I
where mine
paid-
is.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know,
This one is
That's-
region free, guys. By the way,
What's it look
Okay.
like?
this is the.
Whoop.
I'm getting the reviews. You don't want to see
Right,
the
'cause
reviews.
Because I can't remember where mine's at. Yeah, I think that's the one I have.
Okay, and that's $60
But-
right on the Amazon.
I don't think mine's
that's either that
an
might be
import, though.
that might be
There's-
Mill Creek if it's not an import.
Well-
Yeah, that's the one I got, Sean.
Yeah.
That same set came with the in a box with a figure though, but it's the same
There
box
it is.
set.
Yeah.
But it's DVDs, it's not Blu-rays.
Oh,
though.
okay.
That's the other thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Mine's with Mill Creek or-
Yeah, mine is. Who is that from?
Yeah, it's from like 2005, 8, something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. My collection's in another room, so I'm not gonna get up and go look at it. But I have an app with all my stuff on it.
Yeah, I got one too. It kind of organizes it.
Yeah, it's handy for when you're out shopping and you're like, oh, I have that. Oops.
Yeah, I have that on my phone too.
Yeah.
But it's funny you brought up Godzilla and Ray Harryhausen. Like when I was a little kid, it seems like every Saturday there was a Godzilla movie on,
Mm-hmm.
or a Godzilla, or there was a Ray Harryhausen movie. And then
Yep.
of course when whatchamacallit came out, what is it? Clash of the Titans, and I was a little kid. I just love that, the stop motion stuff. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was. I think that was the last Ray Harryhausen movie. Was Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
81.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
friend
and-
and I went to the theater to see. We didn't know what we were going to see, and it was Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Clash of the Titans were playing. And he's like,
Oh,
"Which
wow.
one do you want to see?" And I went, "Oh, I want to see Clash of the Titans because that's Ray Harryhausen." And he just never let me forget that for the rest of my life. 'Cause-
It's still a great movie, but it's
It
not.
is a great
It's
movie,
not
but it's
Raiders.
not
though.
Raiders.
It's not Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, but Raiders is like way above here. That's like
Yeah.
classic, all time.
But that pretty much sums up my taste in movies. I'll go for the cheesy stop motion movie before I
Mhm.
go see
Yeah.
the big blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
But yeah.
contemplating getting that set on Amazon now.
Yeah, that Jason and the Argonauts. I only have it on a laser disc. It's actually a Criterion laser disc from the
Oh, wow.
90s. Yeah. I can't. I don't know if they put that out on DVD later on or not, or Blu-ray. I'm not sure, but I do need to get that on.
Yeah, I've never seen the Jason and the Argonauts Criterion on DVD
Yeah.
or Blu-ray.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah. So that's all I have on that one. It's a really good one.
Yeah, I never could find it. It's over there. Like a lot of my boutique stuff is not organized.
Hmm.
It's just they're all together, but they're not alphabetized. I've got a mess. I don't have enough room for all my stuff, so most of it,
Yeah.
except for like the center section, is alphabetized up here with just general DVD or general Blu-rays. One of these days, I've ever have enough space to put all my stuff, I'm gonna think about just mixing everything together, even boutique and all of it, not separate any of it. Just have it all alphabetized, every single bit of it. Have movies all together, and then the TV's separate, obviously, but have it just all together. Everything intermixed, Blu-rays, DVDs, boutiques, all of it just all intermixed, and just have it all together.
Yeah.
I was impressed by
Yeah.
Sean's collection when he was
Yeah.
going and he had everything alphabetized. I was like, man, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't have I have my Blu-rays and my DVDs are separate, my 4Ks are separate, but I don't sort by label or boutique or anything like that. And TV shows are in with the movies. So and multi-sets are multi-sets are at the end of the alphabet, and I sort those by the first movie on there, or if it's by a particular star like the Charles Bronson collections, I file those under B. So I just want to be able to find something if I go in there looking for something. So I don't want to be like, I wonder what label this movie is on, and then I have to look. It's just I just go in and grab it.
Yeah, I watched Death Wish again after we were talking about Bronson last week.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was good. I forgot how good that one was.
Yeah, that's
That remake they made a couple years ago wasn't bad either.
Oh, I enjoyed that one too.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one yet. I have it. I haven't watched it yet.
It's
Eli
good.
Roth did that, didn't he?
I
Is that
think
Eli
so.
Roth? Yeah.
I'm not sure who was starring in it.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not ringing a bell right now for some reason.
Yeah, it came out probably been about 4 or 5 years ago now, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 2018. Yeah, Eli Roth directed it.
Okay.
And it had my favorite in it, Elizabeth Shue. Love Elizabeth Shue.
All right, that just moved up a few notches on my wish.
Yeah. I need to check that one out.
Yeah, it's 2018. I don't own it. I watched it. I think it was like on HBO or something like that. And of course, it's not streaming. Of course, that you can't watch it again. But and like since Bruce got sick, man, all of his like movies and stuff have gotten like really super expensive.
Really?
Now, yeah. Like if you go like on the eBay and stuff like that, like even a DVD version of like his stuff is like $9 for like a single movie.
Wow.
They're already starting it.
Yeah, all the Dollar Tree titles are now going to $2. Yeah, I got Death Wish the remake. I got it at a drugstore that used to rent Blu-rays and DVDs, and they were unloading their physical media. And I picked up a bunch of Blu-rays there for $1. And I mean, but they included the actual artwork and the regular cases. That wasn't what they rented them out in, and so all of them had digital codes still in them. So I got the digital codes too. So for $1, I couldn't beat it.
Oh yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, because I usually take, like, John's very nice enough to give me the digital codes to some of the stuff that he buys. That way, it's like at least I have it.
Yeah.
If I don't, because usually like the movies I buy are like the older ones.
Right.
So
yeah, I've given away a few on some episodes that I've made. Like at the end, I've done some codes on a few of them. When I have them, if my kids don't want them, then I'll pretty much give them away. I mean, people sell them on eBay and stuff.
Oh, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why I don't know if you guys saw my last pickups video. I got 3 movies for $25. I got Big George Foreman, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and what was the other one I got? I forget now. But he's $25. 65. That's right. Thank you.
See, I do watch your video.
Yeah. See, I make them. I can't even remember. I got all 3 of those for $25, and all the guy did was slit the packaging open, took the digital codes out, and just sold them.
Wow.
And his eBay sell. He's an eBay seller. He sells 3 packs of movies like that all the time.
Wow.
And he sells multiple copies of the same discs, so he's definitely selling those codes and making his money back.
Is he selling the codes for that much money?
The codes are, I don't know what he sells the codes for, but the 3 movies completely brand new and still sealed, except it's slit open on the side. $25. I got those 3 movies, which individually would have cost me more than $10 each.
Yeah.
I got a deal like that last year. I got the that Nicolas Cage one, The Amount of Wasteless Talent or something like that. No, I don't know the title of it. I just I got that one.
The unbearable weight of massive talent.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was close.
Yeah, that was pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that one.
That movie was good.
Everything, Everywhere. The
Yeah, I love
one
that
with
Yeah.
the little guy from well, he's now a big guy, but the Oscar winner from this year, the
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh movie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I got another. Oh, I got that. I got 65 too.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was like 19 something.
Probably the same guy.
It probably was. So
That movie's a waste of money at any price.
Which
what's
one?
that?
65?
65, yeah.
Oh, I enjoyed that.
See, that's so funny.
No,
I keep
that movie
hearing
was
terrible things
shit,
about it
man.
and
Yeah.
great things about it. So I
That
don't know.
was
I mean,
just
believe
like,
me, it wasn't great
Well,
by any chance, but I mean,
positive.
it was good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's good. Yeah, it's pretty.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet, though.
I like to have some dinosaurs in a dinosaur movie. You know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I think it was more of a character study
Yeah.
with him. John's like, the hell with that.
No.
Just give me the dinosaurs.
You do have dinosaurs.
It
in
wasn't
the
a good
Dinosaur
character
Park,
study
right?
either. So I mean,
Uh, you'll have to break the tie, guys, when you see it.
Yeah, I posted that I got it, and was it Movie Edge said he liked it, that it was really good, and you said you liked it. Now John says it's shit, and I heard a lot of I've heard a lot of people say that it was not that good, and the reviews weren't super stellar on it. So I figured, what the hell, it's coming with 2 other movies. I'll take a chance.
Yeah,
on
that's
it.
exactly because I really wanted the other 2. I wanted the Nicolas Cage, which I won't repeat the title again, and the kid from the Goonies. I wanted those 2 movies, so it was like sort of that was like a throw-in kind of deal, and it was like 3 movies for $20.
Yeah.
You know, where else are you going to get that? Like, I keep on waiting to get a good deal on Kandahar.
Hey, Mr. Dan's here.
Hey, Mr. Dan.
how's it going?
So I keep
We are
on
doing
waiting to
just
get a
fine.
good title of Kandahar with Jerry Butler. So
I haven't seen that one yet.
neither have I.
Good
I
choice.
just, but the price on the eBay and Amazon hasn't come down, so it might be one of those like Black Friday ones that
Yeah.
you get for like $8 or something like that with the promo sticker on it. But
Now I did like that movie he had out a couple years ago. That it came out right at the beginning of the pandemic. What's the one where it's the asteroids headed towards Earth? What is it
I
called?
like that one too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Greenland.
Greenland,
Uh,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that one.
I just watched one that went straight to Netflix. It seemed like, and then it came out on. I got it for $5 on Amazon. I'll give you the title when I pop it up, because I pop it. Last Seen Alive with Jerry Butler. It's on the Netflix now, kids, so you can get it on that. But I got it for $5 on Amazon. It's basically like the wife goes missing and then he has to find it, kind of thing. And of course the cops thinks he's the bad guy who did it.
Plane was good as well. I like Plane. He was
Yeah,
in
I
Plane
enjoyed
as well,
Plane
didn't he?
too.
That's fairly recent, right? That's last year.
Yeah. He's like one of the main guys like that. I'll like if he has a movie out, I really want to see Jerry Butler.
Yeah.
He's sort of like the young Liam Neeson for me now. Because he's the same age as we are, Sean. Jerry Butler.
Oh, is he?
So
Is he?
yeah.
Right.
So
Oh,
he's
okay.
the young
Very
Liam
young,
Neeson.
extremely young. Because we're all extremely young here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's ever told me my age, so I guess I'm a little kid.
Yeah, I got taken down a few notches when I was in my backyard the other day, and this little kid was a couple yards over, and the dog was barking at me, and goes, "That's just a nice old man." I'm like, oh, that hurt. Ugh.
Yeah.
I hate when they call you sir.
Oh yeah.
That just like really gets underneath my skin when they say that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
sir.
I get that as well. Like especially in you're out of the store or something.
Mhm.
some good-looking girl or something. It's calls you sir, and it's like,
You
Thanks.
got no shot, pal.
I'd rather you call you. I'd rather you call me daddy instead. So.
Oh man.
I'm not taking that one.
I always say it now. I obviously have heard it in things that I'm not going to talk about on here, but I heard Chris Rock was talking about. He was talking about that, how he don't date how he doesn't date it's dating younger women versus older women because he's divorced, and he's talking about dating younger women. And he's like the younger women, you just buy them shoes and he's just, or they order their shoes, and then when they get them in, they walk around the room naked and saying, "Do you like my shoes, Daddy? Do you like my shoes, Daddy?" And if you buy, he said if you date an older woman, there's nothing wrong with older women. They're great, but their needs are much different. So can you
How in the
put a
world
roof?
do we
Can you
get
put a
from
roof on my house?
Harryhausen to this?
Can you put a roof on my house?
On a roof.
As somebody who just bought a roof in the last 2 years, that hurts.
He said, "Can you fix my
exactly.
car?"
Yeah,
He's like,
I did last summer.
Yeah.
Like, can you fix my car? And it's some kind of weird. He says some kind of weird Mercedes Q model, something you've never heard of.
Jeez. Yeah, that's pretty true.
I thought that was funny. That
Yeah.
last special you did, I think it's on Netflix. It was pretty funny.
Oh, was that the one he did live?
Yeah.
Like it was actually live on Netflix when it came out?
Yeah, I think it's the one that came out. It's the one that came after the slap incident. It's pretty recent.
Yeah. Okay.
Back in the spring or winter or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. We just re-upped Netflix yesterday.
Yeah.
Because of all things to watch the Wrestlers show. Have you seen that yet, Kenny?
I have not seen that yet.
I've heard about that. It's supposed to be real
I heard
good.
it's very good.
Got to watch One Piece. I'm gonna harp on it till you guys watch One Piece.
Yeah. I did see a trailer for that while I was looking for stuff. But yeah, we signed up to watch Wrestlers because my friend owns a wrestling promotion here.
We signed up to watch Wrestlers because somebody.
Whoa. Yeah, my friend co-owns a wrestling promotion here in Cleveland with EC3.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we kind of get some of the backstory from him, of some of the behind the scenes stuff, and somebody recommended it to my wife because we're going to see. There's an event Saturday night here in Cleveland.
Is that the Impact show?
No, it's the promotion is called Exodus Pro Wrestling.
Oh, okay.
But EC3 is going to be there, and I know he's going to do an event in Cleveland for NWA because he's the NWA champion right now.
Yeah.
Because he's from Cleveland, and so they knew we were starting to get back into wrestling, and my wife is just sort of learning about it.
I love you even more, dude.
So her friend recommended the show, and we watched. There's 7 episodes, and we went through 3 of them last night. It's about Ohio Valley Wrestling promotion run by Al Snow.
Al Snow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was pretty big. I used to watch that when I was little. And
with Jim Cornette.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was out of Memphis, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but no, it was near you guys in Kentucky.
It's in Louisville now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, well, how do you pronounce that? Do you pronounce it like we do, Louisville?
I don't know. Depends on the day. I would say Louisville, Louisville, Louisville.
Louisville. I tried to say Louisville just because but most of the time, if I'm not thinking, it's just Louisville.
Louisville.
Louisville, yeah, I guess. Yeah. There's actually billboards in Louisville that has all the different ones as people drive in, so it gives you a choice.
I would say the proper pronunciation the way it's spelled should be Louisville because it's spelled like Louis. It's like it's spelled like that. So just how you pronounce it. I don't really care. Because I'm from Irvine, Kentucky, but it'd be Irvine in California. So So they
See, we
pronounce it
wouldn't like
Irvin.
that because of the Cowboys affiliation with Michael Irvin. So
Yeah.
anything with
Yeah.
the Cowboys is just dead to us in Philly.
Same here.
And a guy.
People pronounce stuff all over the United States different for sure, depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, like here we say water. You want some water?
Water.
Water. It's like, WOODER. You want some
Water.
water?
What do you call a shopping cart, Kenny?
A shopping cart.
Oh, okay.
Like a lot of people call it a carriage.
See, that's different.
Yeah.
Because I grew up an hour and a half-ish north of Pittsburgh. So I get a lot of Pittsburghese in what I say. So when I met my wife, we went shopping, and I'm like, "Oh, I'll get a buggy." She's like,
Oh,
"What the
okay.
hell
I've
are you
never
talking
buggy.
about?" Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've
hear
definitely
that
heard
too.
it called a buggy. Yeah,
Yeah.
buggy. Yeah,
Like
Or
when
a
we went
basket.
shopping with my mom, it's a basket. Well, the basket's the one that you hold that you only get like
Yeah.
about 8 items, and then by the time
Yeah.
you get those 8 items, you have about 30.
Yeah.
That you're walking
Yeah.
around in.
Yeah,
Or
you
you
go
go
there for
in-
one thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Down
you
there
go
for
in
one
and have to
thing.
get milk. The biggest thing is if you get milk or something, you put milk in there plus a couple other things, and you're like, it's dragging the floor by the time you get to the cash register.
Yeah.
And then you go down to like the cookie aisle, and it's like, man, I haven't had Nutter Butters for a while. Let's see that. And then it's like, oh, they have a new thing.
Wooder.
Water.
There you go.
Wooder.
Dan's
Wooder.
from Jersey, Philly
Wooder.
area, so
Oh,
he
cool.
knows it.
Yeah, I worked with a woman before, like 10, 15 years ago, and she said water
Hi,
that way.
Katie.
How's it going, Katie?
So,
Hey, Katie.
And Katie will be joining us here in a couple weeks
So
after
awesome.
Mr. Dan. Nice to
Katie's
see everybody in the
sorry, go
chat
ahead,
tonight.
Mike.
Well, it's like my last name. Like, it depends on how you say the A. Like, if you say day or dag. You say dag like a dagger, or dag with the A. You know what I mean? I guess it's how you pronounce your A or something. So a lot of people want to say it's a dog, which is, I don't know how they get that. But
No, I thought we had a Flyers player here called Alexander Degg.
yeah.
But
Apparently there's a lot of dags in Ohio. That's originally where my ancestors, I guess you would say, are from. But yeah, it's more up north.
yeah, like I was telling one of my friends today, you have totally different accents in Philly. You get like the South Philly, you get the North Philly,
Mhm.
and where I am in Delco, it's like, go get a hoagie. That's like when I was down in Florida, they called it subs, and I'm like, no, it's a hoagie.
Yeah, the subs here.
It's a hoagie.
It's a hoagie. I'm
Hoagie.
going to Wawa to get a hoagie.
Well, I mean, we
I'm
call
telling
them.
you, Dan will back me up on that. That's how they talk here. It's like, I'm going to get a hoagie from Wawa.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have Wawa. We don't have
We don't either.
Wawas. No.
Yeah.
I think our Wawa is only kind of the Northeast, or
Yeah. Well,
I don't
they're
know.
trickling down south now because my brother has one in North Carolina.
Okay.
There's one in Florida. My boss has talked
Okay.
about it. He works out of Florida.
Oh, okay.
And they're coming to Ohio. I think they just announced they're going to open 9 of them in Ohio, but not in
Well,
my area.
when I went through Tennessee last summer or last spring, I saw some Wawas actually
Okay.
down northern Tennessee area.
As my brother would say, it'll change your life.
We have sheets here.
Well, the other,
How
what's
is
that one place? Bucky's or what is
Bucky's.
that?
I was just
Bucky's.
one
Oh,
of the
yeah.
wrestlers that I follow, Ethan Page. You probably know him, Sean.
Yeah.
I've heard the name. Yeah.
All ego, Ethan
Yeah.
Page.
I follow him too because he's a toy collector.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah?
He goes
Yeah.
to check out his video on Bucky's. The place is like a Walmart, just filled with food. It's
Oh,
man, I could go on vacation in that place and just like lose my mind.
Yeah.
Well, I have one here in my town.
Do you really? Shut
Yeah.
up! And you
Richmond,
haven't gone there?
No, I've been there about 5 times, but I don't. It's a madhouse over there. Anytime you go, it's like freaking packed.
Dude, they just had a wall of beef jerky. I'm not kidding you. He showed that. And it was just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet, but everybody talks about it like it's amazing. You know, it's like a travel destination. You got to go there. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to look for the nearest Buc-ee's.
Mr. Dan said, "Yep, we used to have an annual hoagie sale every year for soccer club."
Yep. Yep. I can relate with that.
Oh yeah,
I went to IUP, so I remember Sheets.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't
Sheetz is
have
big
Sheets
around.
down here.
How is
Yeah.
their coffee, Sean?
I don't drink coffee. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Oh, okay. You're a tea drinker like me?
No, if I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
get if I drink caffeine, I'll say another thing that'll probably set people off. I drink pop or soda.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't even bring up like like my mom would say, Ken, grab a Coke. I would say,
Yeah.
oh, I'm getting a Pepsi because that's all I
Yeah.
drink.
Yep.
I'm like obsessed with, in
we
my
call
vein.
it pop here too. A lot of
Mm.
people call it pop. Yeah.
yeah. I guess I grew up with everything was Coke. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up some Cokes at the store and you come home with Pepsi. So it's
Right.
Yeah, I rarely say soda or pop. It's usually just Coke. I don't know. Or just
Yeah.
or maybe soda. It just depends.
Yeah, it's definitely it's always been pop where I've been from, and I've kind of flipped back and forth between Pennsylvania and Ohio because I live on the eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania side of things.
Mhm.
But it's always been pop to me, and then I'll hear people like, "No, it's soda." No, it's never been soda. It's never been just Coke either.
Yeah,
It's pop.
that's pretty interesting though. You know how the different areas and how what we call the same thing. It's
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And for anybody in the chat that's never been here before, we just kind of talk about anything for the most part.
Anything that pops up.
Yeah.
I mean, we went from Ray Harryhausen to Chris Rock stand up, so I mean, we're going a little bit far.
Talking about
To
pop
Sheets.
pronunciation.
Yeah.
Should call it exploring the rabbit hole. As a
Yes.
show.
We
Basically,
promise
whatever
we'll
comes
eventually
into our
talk about
head.
movies tonight.
Yeah, we will. We will.
We go where the conversation takes us, and hopefully you guys enjoy it.
It'll eventually get back
Yeah.
to movies.
Yeah.
And
Eventually.
I did not grow a tail here. This is my dog.
Yeah.
So
I was like, you didn't have to dress up for us, Sean. I mean, please.
yeah, I am not a furry. Sorry. Yeah. So Abbott and Costello. Let's dive into that. I own ridiculous numbers of copies of that movie because on that Universal set that I have, for some silly reason, on like it took all the legacy collection of Blu-rays and put them in one box. So Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein is on the Dracula collection, it's on the Frankenstein collection, and it's on the Wolfman collection.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I have three copies of it in the same box set. Okay. Yeah, I don't have that one.
Yeah, I don't have that one either. I was telling John before we got on, I have the, as you've seen them in my What's in the Box things, I have the,
Sean?
oh, that's, yeah, I got that on DVD.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have that one. Yeah.
I also have this one though. Also have this one though.
Oh, that's nice.
No, I never did get that. I never did come across that. But it's got what, 4 movies or 6 movies?
4.
Yeah, so it's kind of like this DVD if it'll show up like that one.
Yeah.
It's just the monster movies all in one collection. So that's the one I watched. But yeah, I got like you said, I got like 4 or 5 copies of it.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to get the regular Abbott and Costello box set that's got all their movies. I'm gonna get that one day, but it's pretty pricey still.
Yeah. I grew up watching Abbott and Costello on Channel 43 out of Cleveland, and they were always on Saturday nights at 8:00. They usually showed them, or they show them if they were the ones with the monsters, they showed them on Saturday in the afternoon, and I just loved them. And it's weird because when I was watching Meet Frankenstein on Tuesday night for tonight, I had just watched it a couple of years ago, but I just kept thinking to myself, I wonder how like audiences today would react to that type of comedy, because it's funny, but it gets old sort of quick. If because it's very repetitive, but I could still see why it's so popular. And I could just imagine like a theater full of people back in the 40s watching that. See you, Katie. I could imagine like
Awesome.
a theater
We'll talk to you
full
later.
of people.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, it was funny, Sean. Me and John were just talking about that, and John said, they're kind of like the same pattern
Mhm.
of movie. Costello has the hot girl that like is like totally out of his league, and Abbott,
Yeah.
keeps on putting them down, and stuff like that. So, yeah, John, finish your thought on that because you had said about that.
Well, I wanted to stay first off. What I like about Meet Frankenstein is
Oh, okay.
what I like about Meet Frankenstein is you kind of get, for the most part, you get all the classic monsters in it. Not all of them, but you get
Right.
you get a good dose of them. You get Dracula, Wolfman, and the monster all in one. And plus, you get Dr. Frankenstein. Well, technically, he's Frankenstein's just the monster, and even the doctor's not Dr. Frankenstein in the movie. So it's kind of weird that they did that, but it's still, it's everybody recognizes as Frankenstein, obviously. But I was talking earlier about the girl. There's always the girl. Let's see. Well, Abbott's the chubby one, isn't he? Is Abbott or Costello?
Costello's the
Costello, okay.
Yeah,
I never can remember. I'm sorry. Abbott, he's always kind of the straight man.
Mm-hmm.
He always plays kind of the straight man, and Costello is always like the kind of the off the wall,
the kook
comedic guy, I guess. I guess the kind of the more zanier of the two. But Costello there's always the pattern in the movies is that he's kind of always he's always at the beginning of the movie, the girls are always falling all over him, and Abbott can't figure it out. They're like, why are they falling all over you? It can't make sense. He's actually making fun of his looks in the movie. He said, I can't. And he'll even say things. It's like, won't you look at yourself in the mirror? And Costello will be like, because I don't want to scare myself.
Yeah.
Or something like some kind of comment like that. But it's always just a girl using Costello. So it's always that kind of pattern in most of the movies.
I always wondered if Martin and Lewis got their shtick from them.
It was kind of similar.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of, But the hot girl always went to Dean Martin. And Jerry got kind of like the cute one, but like the off the wall kind of girl. That's like dad was rich or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had fun. That's like a yearly kind of thing with me to watch because I like Abbott and Costello. Like for me, we had it here on Channel 48 in Philly. So, and they were on like usually like on Sunday afternoons because Saturdays were Bowery Boys and the Blondie, and then like in the late afternoon, you got Dark Star Records. Cool. That's a cool place to go to.
I've never been there.
No, you can get it on. You can go online, Sean, to get it.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out right now. Oh, okay.
Is that a Philadelphia record store up there?
No, it's online. It's darkstarrecords.com. Free plug.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know Miranda goes to that place to get stuff. I know Bryce, Y2K bassist, and I know Mr. Dan goes there. He gets a lot of stuff from oldies.com too, Mr. Dan. They have good prices too. You got to know what you're buying. It's like anything. Because sometimes they'll have like, I think last year for Christmas, he got like a record for 49 cents, like an album for 49 cents.
Nice.
But they do have good prices on there.
But what I like also about this one is you obviously have like Lon Chaney as the Wolfman and Bela Lugosi as Dracula. And Glenn Strain plays the monster. I can't remember if Glenn Strange, because I know
Boris Karloff.
yeah, Boris Karloff played him, and did he
Mhm.
play him in the original Frankenstein? Yeah.
1931. Yep.
Yeah,
When
and
did-
Bride and Son of Frankenstein. I think Son
Okay.
was the last one.
Yeah. And I don't know where Glenn Strain. I don't know if he just stepped into this role, because see, there's actually Abbott and Costello meet the killer, which actually has him in it, Boris
Mhm.
Karloff in that movie.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I don't know if that was kind of payoff is him not getting to be Frankenstein, or he just didn't want to play Frankenstein again at that point. Or,
He didn't want to. I was
Yeah.
reading about that. He did promotion for it, but he did
Yeah.
not want to be in the movie. He actually did some publicity photos of him buying tickets to it, but his agreement was that he would only do publicity for it if they wouldn't make him watch it.
okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be associated with it, other than maybe,
Yeah.
promoting it for the studio, but he didn't want to be in it. He didn't want to be the Frankenstein monster anymore.
I didn't think he wanted to be typecast,
Yeah.
like Bela Lugosi didn't mind being Dracula his whole career, off and on. But
Yeah.
Boris Karloff was just kind of he loved, he liked his role, but he didn't want to be just Frankenstein,
Yeah. I think Bela Lugosi actually played the Frankenstein monster once.
Yeah.
I can't
it's in one
remember.
of them. I can't remember which one it is.
Let me look it up.
But yeah, he was in one of those.
Did Karloff play Dracula too at some point?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Later on, I don't. I might be
Unless it was in-
confusing Bela Lugosi playing Frankenstein. It might be the mix-up I'm having. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad to see Bela Lugosi like in his prime like that, or subprime or whatever, and at the height of his career, and then you kind of see him in the Ed Wood years, you see
Yeah.
that kind of sad ending to his life,
Right. I think it's
Mhm.
Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
Yep.
Yeah.
He plays the monster.
1943. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
there's a clip of Bela Lugosi when he got out of what do you call it when you go in for addiction? I can't think of the
Rehab?
word. Rehab. There you go.
Sanatorium or something.
Yeah. And
Santorin.
there's an interview with him when he comes out, and he's like all excited about the future and how he's going to get roles again, and you can see he's all happy, and it's kind of depressing because he would be dead within like a year and a half or something.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's great in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. He plays obviously Dracula, but he also has that alter ego.
Yeah.
Was it Dr. What's his name? Lejos or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. So that's sort of his cover for coming into the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got that sort of there's sort of that espionage-ish thing with the woman who's pretending to be Lou Costello's girlfriend, and she's got something she's wanted. She's a wanted criminal in her home country for doing weird scientific experiments and stuff. So there's a lot more to the story than just them being bumbling idiots meeting the monsters, but it's really low key, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
Well, they're wanting to replace They're wanting to replace the monster's brain because he's dying. I guess it's kind of what he's like his energy source is fading, or his life force is fading. So they need to replace his brain. So they're going to try to steal Costello's brain.
Yeah, they wanted somebody. They wanted somebody more receptive to doing their bidding. Because I guess the actual Frankenstein monster's brain was too resistant to following orders all the time.
They want somebody dumber.
Yeah, they wanted. Yeah, exactly.
that would have been really wacky, though. If they actually showed him,
Yeah.
As Frankenstein, like just goofing around and stuff. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
So
that
we
would have
assume.
been interesting.
So we can assume that the original Dr. Frankenstein who made him in the first place didn't find the abnormal brain.
Oh yeah, that'd be normal.
Right.
Yeah, I need to watch that too. I'm gonna try to watch as
Yeah.
many as I can this month, but
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen that in a while. I love that movie.
yeah, I've been trying to rewatch Blazing Saddles too, but I haven't had a chance.
I'm sorry, Frankenstein. So
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. I like the one little gag where Costello was hypnotized in the House of Horrors, and he's just standing
Yeah.
there, and the monster
was
walks
thinking
by him and looks at him and like gets scared for a second. That was
Yeah.
kind of cool. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
but Dracula has to come over to him and said, "Don't worry, he's not going to hurt you. He's not gonna
Yeah.
hurt
I have this book. I mentioned this on Instagram. I don't know if this. It's probably not. There it is. It's called Great Monsters of the Movies. I had this book when I was a little kid. It came out
I
in
remember that too.
1973.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it at like a school book fair, and it's the book that taught me about so many different like monster movies and stuff. And I was surprised to read it now because it has such a negative opinion of Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, about
Wow.
how it destroyed the Universal Monster franchise, and it was the one that made them so they weren't scary. And I was like, I just think they
Mhm.
sort of ran their course. I think that's what put an end to it.
Wasn't
Um,
that the highest grossing one though?
Probably, yeah. I know
Yeah,
it
I
was a
think-
very successful movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was their biggest hit, Abbott and
Yeah.
Costello. Yeah, because I watched that little documentary that's on there too, where it shows those what you were talking about, Boris Karloff doing promotion and stuff. It showed some of that,
Okay.
some video in there, yeah,
That's interesting.
or pictures or something, yeah.
Yeah. He allowed himself to get his picture taken, buying a ticket, and then standing in front of the poster, I think, and that was it. That was the extent of the promotion he did for it.
Yeah. A lot of those guys really had sad lives after they did those movies.
Mm-hmm.
There was they were like so stereotyped
Mm-hmm.
to doing that. That's like when I see like Jim Parsons, he'll always be Sheldon to me.
Yeah.
It's like you can't get out of that stigma.
Yeah, a lot of them, looking back now, they're legendary characters and performances, but at the time they were just average stuff, and a lot of people just blew it off as just junk, or something at the time. And now everything's, we look back at that, it's celebrated now, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
but yeah, as the 50s started, you had all the war stuff, Russia and communism, and everything kind of changed a little bit away from the monsters to nuclear stuff, and
Yeah. Like we were talking about earlier, the giant spiders,
Yeah.
and ants, and
I think
Godzilla.
that was like
like that.
wasn't that mid 50s into the 60s, right, Sean?
Yeah, it started. I think from what I was reading about Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, it was the first or one of the first atomic age monster movies, and it was 53.
Oh, okay.
Where they directly tied the creature into being awakened by radiation or atomic blast or whatever. It wasn't created by it, but it was unleashed by it.
That would be fun if they just came out with a huge set, like you said, the Atomic Age, like box set. That would be really a must-have for me, especially because I enjoy those movies.
Yeah, I would buy that in a heartbeat. I got that Cold War Creatures set from it has, I think, 5 Sam Katzman produced
Oh yeah.
films in it.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, and I snapped that up as soon as I saw it. It was on sale on Arrow's site for $30. So I said,
Oh, that's a great deal.
Yeah. Has anybody seen the original Fang from
Oh, yeah.
1951? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a classic.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
There's a DVD at Walmart right now. I think Katie actually was showing it on her channel. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's nice.
The Mole People. I haven't seen that one. Deadly Manus.
Yeah.
Tarantula's good.
Yeah, I think I got the DVD version of that. It's got all those same.
Yeah, but there's a set at Walmart that Katie picked up. It's on DVD, but it has all 3 Thing movies on it. It has The Thing from 82, the Thing prequel from 2011, and then it has the original The Thing from Another World
Mhm.
from
Oh,
51
okay.
on it.
Yeah.
And I think it's $9, I think, but
Oh, I love
Charlie
Charlie
Chan.
Chan. I love Charlie Chan. I
Mhm.
love the Sidney Toller Charlie Chan movies. I adore them. I didn't know
This
he
one-
was
this one's
Texan.
still sealed.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
That's volume
Yeah.
3. I got the first 3 volumes.
Yeah, volume 5 is like the hardest one to find and the most expensive one. Yeah, it goes for like $300 easily if you
jeez.
can find it. Yeah.
Holy
Sorry, I'm
cow.
just pulling random things. I'm trying to find something here. Can't find them.
Because I only have volume
Okay.
1.
I think I've showed you guys those other sci-fi ones I have. I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a couple of those sets. There's a real good sci-fi set from Universal, and it's got all those 50s ones, that, like the ones you just showed. Those are on there, and some of
This is cool.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
a documentary.
Library of Congress,
Hmm.
Smithsonian.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's got a bunch of stuff on here. I probably can't read that.
Oh well, I've never seen that set.
I think you're like documentaries. It's like the origin of gangster film, origin of the fantasy feature, origin of American animation, America's first women filmmakers, the African American cinema 1 and 2. So kind of cool stuff.
Yeah, I bought that Warner. I think Warner had them for. There were 4 volumes of the Gangster collection.
Mm-hmm.
I got all 4 of them, and I think the last one has like the movies in the mob. You know how they tied it in, because it had like a lot of Edward G. Robinson, George Raft, Bogart. I love Humphrey Bogart. So
yeah,
and Cagney.
and Cagney.
Oh yeah, Cagney.
Yeah, you got to have him in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't realize how little he was.
Yeah, he was little, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's always like Bogart. I knew Bogart was a little guy. Because they always said about Lauren Bacall towering, over top of him, like in the movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I didn't realize how Cagney was only 5'4".
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I read that in a biography, and it's just like because the only movie I had seen with him in it was Ragtime. A long time ago. I've now seen more of
right.
But yeah, and it was just like he was just like this like little old man,
Yeah.
And then I seen like the like Mr. Roberts, and Fonda was a big guy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't he play Lon Chaney Jr. in that movie that came out like 59 or 60?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Lon Chaney Sr. Yeah.
Yeah, the man of a thousand faces.
Yep.
Yeah. Sean gave me that. He sent me that. That's a really good movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's highly fictionalized version of his life because they sort of made it into a giant melodrama with a lot of love interest stuff that was very popular at that time. But it's cool to see Cagney in the versions of the Lon Chaney makeup, like Phantom of the Opera and Hunchback of Notre Dame and stuff like that. It's a good movie for what it is. I'll just put it that way.
Kind of
I like
the brief history.
Yeah, I like it a lot, but it's definitely not all true stuff.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like the way they did Chaplin, and then the Bruce Lee story, Dragon, that came out early '90s.
Yeah,
where they just kind of where they just kind of jump around and kind of sketch on his life. It's not real super accurate.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Chaplin though. I thought Downey did a really good job with that.
Oh yeah. It's not like you said. It's not very true, but his performance is great. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've always got to be careful with those biopics because they're created to give you an essence of the person, not the actual story of the person. So
yeah. Well, if you go into it not knowing anything about that person, then you're good to go. Because like when I watched the Queen movie, Bohemian. I was like so irritated because everything was wrong and it was all backwards and
Like in,
Yeah.
in Bohemian Rhapsody, didn't he reveal to the band that he had AIDS like before Live Aid
Mhm.
or shortly after? I
Yeah.
can't remember. And then like Live Aid was like they're going out on top, and that was
Not
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
that was 5
Well,
years
they
before he died.
Yeah.
yeah
Th-
yeah
They made it look like
Yeah.
that was it. Like after
Yep.
Live Aid,
Yeah.
he's good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah.
it
They
was
made
all mixed up.
several more albums after
Yeah.
that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did like at least two more official albums, I think. And then
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
They had quite a bit, and MTV wouldn't play them for that "I Want to Break Free" video because they were in
Oh
drag,
yeah.
yeah.
and they
Isn't that weird how times have changed
yeah
now? Like
yeah it's so goofy, and they got pissed, so they never came back to the States. They never toured the States again.
Well,
yeah, I would have loved to saw Queen back then. That would have been cool.
Yep.
they'd
I
be
remember
the
oh,
biggest
sorry.
thing in the world these days if they did that.
Yeah.
Well, when they tried it with that one guy from American Idol, and I thought that was just ridiculous.
Lambert, yeah.
Adam
Yeah,
Lambert, yeah.
and they did it with Paul Rogers too from Bad Company.
Yeah, that was a little more acceptable, but not really. Yeah.
Yeah, they did
He's
an
got his
album
own
with him.
voice. Yeah.
and it was terrible. The album was awful.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I love Bad Company and, with Paul Rogers and stuff, but not with Queen. I don't know. It's just two different voices, I guess.
Yeah,
I always
it's-
kind of felt that way with the Who as well. Without Keith Moon, they just to
Mhm.
me
Mhm.
personally, because I've always obviously I think he died the year I was born, so
Mhm.
it's just the sound with him is just so much different than any drummer. You can't reproduce his drumming because
Mhm.
it's so unique.
yeah,
Yeah. He's
Now, the
really
only-
like an octopus playing, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you see his drumming style, there's nobody that comes
No.
close to that style.
No, he was all over the place.
I mean,
Yeah.
so like I think Ringo Starr's son, he might currently be their drummer, but he played drums for him for a long time. He's pretty good, but he's still like more of just a straight drummer. He's not like
Hmm.
Keith
Yeah.
Moon was like a jazz drummer essentially.
Yeah.
Phil Collins' son
he
is
was all
really
over.
good too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's only 22.
Really?
Yeah, he's really good. I watch these like when you're up at night on YouTube, you find
Mhm.
like anything like a rabbit hole, and he was on like Steve Smith was teaching how to like drum "Don't Stop Believing." Well, the next that went off, and then Phil Collins' son, and he's their full-time drummer for Genesis now, or was, and man, he's really good. Really good kid.
Hmm.
Which movie is that?
Probably
Yeah.
probably Abbott and Costello. I'd say. I think
Oh,
I
okay.
kind of missed his comment while I was talking there.
Okay.
Wasn't likely. So sorry about that. Got it a little bit late.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of went off the subject again, but yeah.
Went from
So,
Abbott
what would you
Costello.
guys rate the Abbott and Costello meets the Frankenstein? Meet Frankenstein. What would you rate that?
I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'd probably give it 7 or 8 out of 10 as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was good. Yeah,
Yeah, probably 8.5, 9, because it is pretty much a classic. I mean, especially if you love either one of the groups,
Right.
the monsters or them. So, and it's one of their very, very best ones. So probably a 9, I would say.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that they didn't replicate anything with other like great comedy duos. Like that.
Well, I think they were both, universal properties at the time, so it was pretty easy to,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
like, I mean, I don't know, but it was just, that was good luck there, because I don't think any other studios had those two things going for them, at
Mhm.
the same time. So that was,
Yeah.
big plus.
Good fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote a review of Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein a couple years ago when I watched it. It was in my Halloween 15 2 years ago, and one of the comments that I made in the review, and T-shirt Mike reminded me of it, that I think a lot of the humor kind of inspired Scooby-Doo. There's a lot of Scooby-Doo elements
Mhm.
to that
Mhm.
movie
Yeah.
and that same type of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like especially the revolving door
Yeah.
gag, that type
Yeah.
of stuff. A
Yeah.
lot of that,
And
and a lot of the Costello reactions to stuff, kind of the over the top stuff, would be like Shaggy.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, I didn't think about that, but the blending of horror and comedy,
Mhm.
which would, be a big thing in the future, but that
Yeah.
was, they done it very well, so it's
Yeah.
kind of stands out that way too.
It's hard to comment. It's hard for somebody from like in modern times to comment on something because we didn't, that's the only, because I was thinking, like a lot of the gags in it, they kind of do it over and over again, like the revolving
Mhm.
door. But it's, we grew up with that stuff with cartoons
Right.
and stuff. Like these audiences didn't necessarily, they had cartoons, but not, it was new to them. That
Right.
stuff
Right.
was new. So us reacting to it, it's not the same way. So I have to kind of put myself in that mindset when I watch older movies.
Mhm.
Because that's the reason I can watch older movies, because I can kind of turn the time back in my mind and think like
Yeah.
try to think like they did maybe in that
Mhm.
era. I don't get offended by stuff, things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's kind of what
Yeah.
I was saying earlier about,
yeah,
picturing myself in a theater full of people, in the
yeah,
40s watching that movie and kind of getting into that
yeah,
mindset, because you
Mhm.
yeah,
have to do that. Because I'll sit down with somebody. Um, I try not to do it with my wife because my wife does not like older movies at all. But before I met my wife, I would sit down with whoever I was dating at the time and say, "Oh, this is a great movie," but it's older, and you'd start watching it, and they would be like, "Look at those hairstyles. Look at those." Like,
mhm,
it's
Yeah.
going right over your head. It's not, of
Yeah.
course, that's what their hair looked like that back then. So
Yeah.
well, I've always
it's always something that's
yeah,
difficult, I think, for some people to do, is to do exactly that, John, was to put
well,
themselves in the mindset of the people who the movie was made for in that time.
well, I've
And if you could
always been
do that.
I've always been into history too.
Mhm.
So I've read about history and American history and stuff like that,
Yep.
world history to some degree,
Mhm.
but you get I kind of try to think back, well, what was going on during this era, what was happening, and try to
Mhm.
put myself in the shoes of somebody living that when I'm thinking, just
Right.
something weird like that, you got to do this
Mhm.
and maybe that's why I enjoy it, because men tend to be more nostalgic than women as well. Women don't necessarily have the nostalgia bug as much as men tend to have it. 'Cause I had a ex-girlfriend that was like that. She was just like, I'd be talking about something. I was like, yeah, this makes me feel this way. And then to say, guys get kind of nostalgic for things like that. And she's like, and she would kind of shut me down on that all the time. Because she was like totally not like that at all. And
Right.
it was kind of
Mhm.
aggravating. But
Yeah.
women are kind of wired like that. They're just not nostalgia bugs like men. Some are, but for the most
Mhm.
part, they don't think like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing I was going to say is, like I've seen some old movies. I'll just say old movies, in the theater, in recent years with an audience, and it's
Mhm.
really cool to watch one of those with an audience because they really do, you have that interaction stuff. Everyone's laughing, everybody, you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
different. I don't know. It's kind of different than a modern movie with an audience, um,
Yeah,
but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they
yeah,
used to do a thing here in Cleveland called the Cinema on the Square, downtown Cleveland. There's what we call Playhouse Square, and it's a bunch of old theaters that are all sort of linked together. And in the summertime, they would show old movies on the big screen down there, and so you could go. Like, I think they do it for the whole month of August. They didn't do it this year, unfortunately, but I got the opportunity like 10 years ago or so to see the 1933 King Kong with an audience, and the theater was sold out.
Oh yeah.
And it was amazing. It was absolutely
yeah,
amazing, and it was
Mhm.
exactly that. People were reacting to the movie, not necessarily like an old audience would, but there were kids there that were
Mhm.
still kind of caught by the magic of King Kong and
Oh yeah.
the animation
Yeah.
and everything. So that was really cool. And some of the things that were supposed to be scary were kind of funny.
Mhm.
But it was a fantastic experience, and I hope they start doing that again. So we'll see some old movies. We saw Jaws like that too, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. That's
Yeah.
cool. I mean, a lot of people know the movies by heart, so they're like, and it's funny
Yep.
what they'll laugh at. Like you're talking about, like they're laughing at their hair or something, and it's
Yeah.
funny. Everybody will laugh at the same thing because
Hmm.
it's But yeah, it's cool because I saw Bride of Frankenstein in a theater, and it was
Oh
like you
wow.
said, it was almost sold out, and
Yeah.
all these people are just it just has such an appeal. And it was young kids or teenagers. There's people you probably wouldn't expect would be there. And
Hmm.
it was interesting. So
Yeah. Cleveland is good for movie going because there's a bunch of theaters up here that they'll just do like nostalgia kicks and old movies and stuff. I saw Creature from the Black Lagoon in 3D in the
Nice.
theater here, and
oh wow.
Cool.
that was amazing because I had never seen it in 3D, and that's how it was originally released, was in 3D.
Mhm.
That's cool.
So that was an experience, and saw that with it was not sold out, but it was a big audience, and that was really entertaining. And
Mhm.
oh, what was the other one? Ape, which is an old crappy 1976 ripoff of King Kong, um, which was in 3D that I saw at a theater up here, and that was sold out, and that was hilarious. It was just,
Mhm.
that was a trash movie playing to an audience full of people looking to watch a trash movie, but it was so much fun. People making fun of it
That's
and
cool.
laughing, and it was almost like live action Mystery Science Theater 3000. It was awesome.
Well, what did you guys think about the 1976 remake of King Kong that's got Jeff Bridges and
Jessica.
uh, Jessica Lange?
Like,
Because they used to dump on that movie a lot. A lot
I
of people
loved
would dump
it.
on,
Hmm.
and I watched it recently, and I liked it. I
oh,
thought
it's
it was
good.
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
I
And
was
there's some
7 when that came out, so I
yeah.
liked it a lot.
Yeah. And there's
Yeah.
some controversy over like that scene with Jessica Lange. Like they say it's like some kind of grape type situation.
I've heard that, but I mean,
I'm saying grape. Obviously, I
yeah,
don't
I
know
know
if
what
you
you
ever
mean.
Mhm.
heard anybody. You know what
Yeah,
I don't think I've heard that.
yeah.
yeah,
No, I never heard of
Yeah,
it
there was
either.
some kind of controversy, like the way the ape or something handles her. It's like some kind of
Mm.
it's something stupid.
Probably
I,
somebody
I,
overthinking it, I guess.
yeah. I think that's people projecting, to be honest.
I
But
I read an
Yeah.
article that came out around the time I think it was re-released, and they were talking about it. I believe re-released
Yeah.
yeah.
on a Blu-ray or something like that a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, when Shout or Scream Factory
Yeah,
put out the new
Hmm.
edition. Yeah.
yeah,
That was my King Kong. I mean, I had
yeah.
Mm.
known and watched about the 1933 one on TV, but that came out, the 76 one came out when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
So before Star Wars came out, that was my all-time favorite movie. I have seen that in the theater probably 10 times
Oh
when I was a
wow.
kid. I would
Hmm.
go see it all the time, and loved it. I could probably quote it. Oh, that's
Cool.
cool.
Oh, that's really neat.
Oh yeah,
But
those are both good Hammer movies.
yep.
Yeah.
But they had a merchandising thing for it before Star Wars did. They had I had a paint by numbers set of King Kong, and I think Burger King was putting out glasses,
Hmm.
in the
Oh yeah.
restaurants and all sorts of stuff. So that was my King Kong. That was the movie I would go see all the time. And I can't look at it too objectively now because I loved it ever since I was a kid.
Hmm.
But the one thing that it did fool me with is when the publicity came out for that, they made a big deal of the big 40-foot robot King Kong that they built for the movie. And as a kid, I thought that was the King Kong that you see through the whole movie
Oh
until they show the actual robot for like 5 seconds during the New York scene where it looks like, he's like completely stiff and he drops like a piece of cage and he can barely move. That's the actual robot.
yeah.
Um,
Well, it was a true story. I was probably 3 or 4, and that was on TV.
mhm.
I remember this to this day, and I remember being so scared of it. I was
Oh, really?
little, so I don't know if I was like I don't know what I did. I just know I was scared to death of it for some reason. So by chance I just never saw it again until I was like in my 20s or something, and then I really liked it. But I always remember that time. So it's kind of funny though. I was probably about 4, It was on TV or something. So
Yeah.
Looks like the Kentucky Theater's playing a bunch of shit. There we go.
Playing
It's playing a bunch of horror movies during a a bunch of horror movies during this month. Sorry, no, it's something popped up. The thing that wants to update my phone popped up right when I was going to start reading. I don't care about. I don't care about Casper, but it looks like these. I think they're playing a different movie each week or something. It looks like it, but they're gonna have them like Shaun of the Dead. Let's see, the Phantom of the Opera, Reanimator, Carrie, The Craft. Let's see here. There's just one called Vampiros Lesbos.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Dracula. The Exorcist.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Carrie or The Exorcist on the big screen.
Yeah.
Cool.
The Beyond.
Huh, that's a lot of that's
Messiah of Evil. Halloween 3. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. The Crow. Looks like that's it.
Wow, that's awesome. A lot of stuff.
That is good. Yeah. A lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I've always wanted to get down there. I've never been to the Kentucky Theater. I've wanted to go because my wife's from Lexington, so we know the area well, but I've just never been there. I'll have to check that out. Go online and check it out.
I never end up making it to it, but like every Wednesday during the summer, they have like a movie. They always play old movies there, so it's pretty cool. They always post a lineup during the years. Yeah, they play some good stuff. I just never do make it down. It's kind of a pain in the butt because downtown Lexington's it's grown up a lot. Like when I was a lot of the years I was living there, it was pretty easy to, it's pretty easy. Well, for a while I lived like right down the street from it, so I could just walk to it. So, but they had the midnight movies and stuff like that. That's where you could go see. I forget what I always seen. There,
probably Rocky
movies.
Horror.
A lot of older movies.
Yeah.
I miss that because like in the 80s they used to play the Rocky Horror, and I never heard of it before or seen it. I think I seen it like 86 at midnight. These people are dressed up like they're throwing like toilet paper and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And it was. I didn't like the. I might be the only one. I didn't like the movie, but I thought the experience of seeing the movie with those people, all dressed up, and that was fun. But I didn't care for the movie.
Yeah, there was a theater in the 90s in Louisville, and they would show that at least twice a month, at least as a midnight movie. And I think when I was about 15, I didn't have a license yet to go see it. So I had my dad drive me up there. So me and my dad hung out watching Rocky Horror Picture Show at midnight with all that crazy stuff. I didn't know what to expect because I'd never been there and stuff, but it was pretty interesting. I mean, my dad's cool, but he's not that cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people yelling at the screen. Did they yell at the screen too, Mike?
Oh yeah. It was wild.
They did that here in Richmond a long time ago. I seen it back in the 90s here at Cinemark, and they did the kids were doing it then. I guess I was kind of a kid then as well, but there was a bunch of people dressed up even in a Cinemark theater showing it. I think that's the only time I've seen it in the theater after that. But I enjoy it. I enjoyed the movie.
I mean, you think about it now, like we all have those memories from going to there. These kids today don't have that experience, about doing that. Or even if they grow up in the 90s, what like really big horror, like besides Scream, okay? And they don't play that like they did like I remember when in 87 when I graduated high school, I mean Witchboard that movie stunk, but it was like that was like a midnight thing to go to with that, and they used to play Reanimator, and they used to play what's the one, Basket Case. With the one with the head in the basket. They played that like all the time, like at Death for 6, and it was just like, but it was like Friday nights they would play Rocky Horror on Friday and Saturday nights, but you also got another movie with that, So it's like you weren't getting out of there until like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then it was like going to Denny's, for like an early
Yeah.
breakfast.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be the same nowadays for some
Oh
reason.
no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just looking up Cleveland Cinemas here in Cleveland at the Cedar Lee. They always do Rocky Horror Picture Show. And they're doing it this coming Saturday. But there's a comment on the advertisement on their website is, at this time, we're not allowing any items to be brought in for show participation. This means you cannot throw any of the traditional Rocky items and no backpacks or large bags. I know one reason for that is because a lot of people get overzealous and they throw stuff at the screen, which is
Yeah.
expensive to clean.
Yeah.
I know they had problems with that when I worked for them, but that's not the same experience,
Mm.
Those people.
Yeah.
Can you clean those screens if they get like Coke on them? Will it come off?
Yeah.
Because I remember that little theater is in my hometown. I remember it seemed like it had like a Coke stain on it forever,
Yeah.
and they never cleaned it for some reason.
It's expensive. Yeah.
Hmm.
We cleaned the screens in my 3-screen once, and the guy would come in with almost like a big squeegee and would clean the screen, because if it's like the screens that I used to deal with in the theaters I had, they're not solid, they're perforated because the speakers are
Right.
behind them.
Mhm.
So you have to be careful. You can't put too much moisture on them, or that'll go behind and screw things up.
Yeah.
I don't remember what he actually used, but it was super expensive to have the screens cleaned. So we did it maybe twice or once every 2 years. Um, but it was, so I could see if something got on the screen, it's not something that you can go up there with, a bottle of Windex and clean off, because it's got to
Right.
be specially done.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
when you did that, Sean, did you have to like loop the movie like
Oh,
before,
yeah.
like say like the night before, and watch it
Oh,
to see if there was anything?
I did it multiple times a day. I had to do it every time the movie showed.
Oh
Um,
wow, okay.
Yeah, I was a licensed projectionist for a really long time. I got licensed in PA, and then I got licensed in the city of Cleveland.
That's really cool.
It's sort of a joke. The test is literally from the 20s in Pennsylvania. At least it was when I took it. And you could walk in with all the answers because none of that equipment existed anymore. So you can't pass it knowing what you know. You have to know what the answers are on the quiz. So
did they have stuff about nitrate film or something going all the way back?
Yeah, all sorts of like venting and making sure that the projector has vents that go through up to the roof and all this other stuff. And I didn't have to worry about that with the bulbs we had.
Have you seen Cinema Paradiso?
I have
Yes.
not. I've seen. I saw one part of it. I saw one scene from it, which stuck with me, and I can only paraphrase it, but it was something about the guy thought he took pride in entertaining the entire town, like being the entertainer of the entire town. And,
Yeah,
That's a good movie. You should definitely check that one
I
out.
own it. I haven't watched it yet. I got it from Hamilton Book.
That's where I got it from too, Sean.
Yeah.
Damn you.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tearjerker sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. I like it a whole lot.
Last Picture Show is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, there was a movie called Popcorn that came out 91 that I think took place in a theater.
Yeah.
It was a horror movie. The funny thing is I have the poster for it. I've never seen the movie.
It's actually on Joe Bob Briggs' Last Drive-In. That's where I seen it.
Oh, it's on there now?
Yeah, it's like season 6 or something.
Oh,
like
okay.
that. I'll send it to you later. But it was like part of his, like, I think Halloween Hootenanny. Like I was telling John, like he has like his regular seasons. Mike, I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
He'll have his like regular seasons, but then he'll have a Christmas special, a Valentine's special, and a Halloween special. So, and then he just like will run, like, especially like with the Halloween Hootenanny, he did the original Halloween, then Halloween 4, and then Halloween 5. Because his co-host Darcy's favorite movie was 4, I think. It was like one that like everybody hated, basically.
Yeah, I'm highly enjoying watching that. I'm
And
highly
then,
enjoying watching that.
he did
Yeah.
he did one with Popcorn and I think Maniac.
Okay.
Maniac.
That-
Yeah.
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 And
I'll
then,
tell you, I was gonna say a good movie, since we're talking about monster movies and movies. That movie called Matinee. It's got John Goodman.
Yeah.
that's a
Oh, yeah.
great movie.
Yeah, Joe Dante directed it, but it's kind of he's kind of like a William Castle guy, with the seats and all that
gimmicks.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like that because
Yeah.
it really is a tribute to those movies, the 1950s. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's a real, and people don't talk about that a lot either.
No, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's highly underrated, I think.
Yeah, because he kind of like set it up that they were like carny people, that they would come into the town, set up, and like they're going to do this. The most terrifying. I think what was on the billboard, like 3 people had heart attacks during this movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Where he like sparked the seats and stuff like that.
Yeah. He was a great showman.
Yeah.
The Tingler.
Yeah,
I-
exactly.
Yeah.
I remember watching that movie as a kid, and I didn't like it at all. I just when I was young when it came out, and didn't like it. But after watching it as an adult, it was really good because it's just as a kid, it just wasn't. Just something I was interested in, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's got that kind of that teenage love story kind of running through it, which it is what it is, but it's kind of like a 1950s movie, where you have that little subplot going on with it. But I don't like it though. I think I appreciate it more now, as I've gotten older, because I've seen all those movies that they're kind of talking about, so.
It's kind of funny how, as you get older, stuff that you didn't think was good, you think, man, this is really good right now.
Mhm.
I guess it comes with age. You get wisdom.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's also kind of like music. Like you might buy an album and listen to it, and you just think, I hate this, and then you come back to it somehow, and you start liking it. And the more you listen to it, it's like, and then it becomes your favorite record or something, And same thing with movies, I don't know. Some movies, I guess it depends on the mood you're in when you first watch it or hear it or something.
But you know what, Mike? The kids don't listen to albums like we did. They just listen to songs.
Yeah,
like me and a friend were talking about this the other night. It was like with The Stranger. You had a whole concept of that album. There was no song that was like bad in that Billy Joel Stranger record. You had the interlude of the whistle and then the outro of the whistle. And that was like a lot because I grew up listening to Kiss when I was younger, and there wasn't like anything about putting on like 10, in front of the 8-track player and just listening to Alive 2.
Yeah. Well, albums are designed to you sit down and enjoy it. It's not like on the go. And then, the other thing, I guess that's why I appreciate physical media is like the album covers.
Yeah.
And liner notes. And I would be someone that would just start listening to, I would be, look at the lyrics or producer credits, all that stuff. Then the artwork, and you kind of appreciate it.
Yeah. And plus, when you pulled out the album, Mike, what did it have? It had the lyrics.
Yeah.
So when you had your favorite song on there, you could sing it and get to know that song.
Yeah.
I remember my next door neighbor when we lived in Philly when I was really young. He was obsessed with Genesis. Okay. And those album covers were crazy cool, with all, and he used to like loan them to us. I mean, we were like little kids, like 7 or 8. He'd like loan us the Genesis album, and we'd put it on, and me and my brother would be trying to trace or, recreate the album cover. Same with Styx, when I seen Grand Illusion or Pieces of 8, I mean, those album covers stood out, and you put the album on and you're just drawing the album covers or something.
Yeah. The 70s had some of the best album art. I think that's when it really became an art, the album art, because the 60s were always basic, just a picture of the band or something very, very low, lo-fi kind of stuff. And then the 70s, you got this huge piece of artwork now, look at. And
And I
then
think
they
that's
came
why
with the
the
gatefolds.
horror movies, I'm
The
sorry, but
gatefolds
the
and-
horror movies in the 80s took off because you would go to a video store and you'd pick up a box that had like Frankenhooker or something like on it. You know,
Yeah.
that was just
Yep.
like, I mean, because remember the box art for that? It had a little
Oh, yeah.
button, and you could push the button on Frankenhooker. You
Yep.
know, and it's like
Oh.
you had no idea what it was about, but hey, it talked to you. Mom, can we get this tonight? You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big deal because, that's when people rented stuff. So if it's stuck out on the shelf, people are going to be drawn to it even more, to rent it back then,
Yeah. Back
I
before
was
the
remember
internet.
Ice Pirates. Ice Pirates.
Yeah.
Ice
Oh,
Pirates,
yeah.
That cover.
Or one
Yeah.
of my favorites, Dragon Slayer. I mean, that was a kick-ass cover,
Yep.
you know?
Mhm.
And it was
Yeah.
like, and the movie was good too, but it was just like, man, that stood out, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after you had Indiana Jones, you had like all the knockoffs with Sybil Danning and stuff like that,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
And
She
Richard
got you
Chamberlain.
through puberty.
Yeah.
Yeah, before the internet, that's how you learned about movies, word of mouth and the covers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when we were talking about the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Because, like, back then, you would just hear stories. You couldn't go on YouTube and see it played
Right.
out. Somebody recorded it. It's like you don't know what to expect, but you kind of do. And then you go there, and it was kind of cool that way because it was something to experience.
Colonial Theater in Phoenixville.
Is that in Phoenixville in your area?
That's what I'm like new to all this stuff, so I have to look up everything. That was a good album too. The Rush, anything by Rush, I enjoyed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Moving pictures. Yeah, I used to lay on the floor in my dining room in my apartment well, it wasn't my apartment, it was my mom's apartment. I was in 6th, 7th grade, and I would just put headphones on and just lay there and listen to News of the World by Queen, Moving Pictures by Rush,
Mhm.
Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, and Led Zeppelin 2. Just crank them up as loud as I could and just
Mhm.
lay there and listen to them over and over. I think when I was in 6th grade, I was going to break the world record for listening to News of the World as many times as possible. So that's what I would do. I would listen to it from cover to cover,
Yeah, I think that's my favorite album cover by Queen.
Oh, yeah.
It might be it's up there as a favorite album too, but I love that artwork.
Yeah.
I like the game.
And the game's just
Oh, yeah.
silver and yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that it just looked like really classy, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, that was some cool stuff back then. But yeah. Oh, I don't know if Dan, I've subscribed to your channel, Mr. Dan, and just want to let you know.
Yeah, I subscribe too.
I just picked this up. I haven't actually haven't seen it, believe it or not, but I never have seen Suspiria.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I never seen that either.
It's if you like, or I'm not very well versed in Italian horror or giallo or any of that stuff. But I watched that a few years ago. That was another movie that was in my Halloween 15, which I like doing because it forces me to watch different things that I haven't seen before.
Mhm.
And I watched that 5 years ago. I didn't know anything about it. And I watched it on Tubi, of all things. And yeah, I ended up liking it a lot. The Italian horror is it's kind of weird if you're just used to American or British horror,
Mhm.
because things sound strange because sometimes they would film without microphones and they would dub the dialogue in later.
Mhm.
Well, they
So
did that with everything. Like the Italians did that with everything. They
The
Yeah.
Western,
yeah,
spaghetti westerns, and their
Yeah.
crime movies and stuff.
yeah. But
Yeah.
if you're one of the things that used to happen when we were talking about video covers is sometimes you'd be looking through the horror section and you'd see something like Zombie. You're like, oh wow, that looks really cool, and you take it home and it's an Italian horror film, so you think you're getting something from that's American and it's Italian, and
Mhm.
you're like, what's wrong with this movie?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Shannon. Shannon's awesome. You're very welcome, Shannon.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Thanks
I've
for
been
coming in.
following Shannon for a long time, more than 10 years. She does a lot of book stuff on her channel, but every once in a while she'll do some film stuff, and she's
Oh,
been
neat.
an ardent supporter of my channels because I used to have another channel
From-
called Media Assault that I had for a long time, and I just got away from it because I just wanted to concentrate on movies, and I did games and video and music and all sorts of stuff on that channel, and I just wanted to concentrate on movies, so I started a new one.
I was gonna say, John.
Even though, even though
I got
I'll go
I
ahead.
got this out today to watch. Matter of fact, Suspiria.
There you go.
Excellent.
Yeah, because I got this
from-
on. I got this also the other day. His other movie, Cat of Nine Tails, through Hamilton Books had it on sale, so I got that too.
Deep Red was excellent the other night.
Yeah.
The reason why, this is why I bought Suspiria, but I've seen a couple of his other movies. I have like the bird with the crystal plumage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but the thing about Suspiria, it's not, from what I understand, it's not a giallo movie.
Mm-mm.
Deep Red is.
Mhm.
He had a couple of giallo movies. From what what I take from giallo is it's kind of Italian film noir.
Yeah.
With a kind of it's like Italian film noir with a slight horror twist to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
It's like a lot
crime.
horror. Yeah.
Crime stories.
Yeah, giallo actually means yellow in Italian.
I think it means jello, doesn't it?
Or yellow. No, it's yellow, which
yeah.
means they got like pulp novels, and they were like with a yellow band or something that distinguished them and stuff.
So kind of yellow paper. It's printed on yellow paper. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So it's kind of based on like what you said, like kind of a film noir, kind of pulpy, stories and stuff.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm trying to do more film stuff.
Yeah.
I have film videos going up soonish. Nice.
Yeah, she's very I didn't see the new one yet. I have not seen the new one.
No, I've never even heard of the first one, so
Yeah, it's regarded as a classic. It's very cool. Again, as somebody who doesn't know too much about Italian horror or giallo, I was really entertained by it, but I was more surprised by the fact that I enjoyed it as much as I did because it's so different. Yeah. Yeah, you know it when you know it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only Argento movie I seen was Tenebrae.
Tenebrae.
Yeah.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, and that was on the Tubi too. That's because everybody started picking that up, and it's like, when people start picking things up, it's like, oh, you want to check it out, and it was very good. It was a very good thriller.
Well, he's got that one movie of Jennifer Connelly in it, Phenomenon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it's called. Is it Phenomenon or
Phenomena? I think.
Phenomena. Yeah, it's got like an A, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's got Jennifer Connelly in it. So.
And I did watch. It's on Shudder. Sean, on Dark Glasses. It's on Shudder.
That's his new movie.
Yeah, it's a new one.
Oh, okay.
And
it's always
that was okay.
Weird. When he comes out with new stuff, everybody's always like, "Oh, it's not good."
Yeah.
She's like this hooker who loses her sight, and she befriends this little boy, who helps her around and stuff like that. And she wears the dark glasses because it scares the little boy with her sight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I picked this up this week.
Well, I never
came from outer space.
Is that the one where there's like a crater?
Yeah.
Like in the desert, and something comes out of it.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I've seen it 100 times, but I can't remember all. I've seen so many of these.
Yeah,
they all blend together.
Yeah, they run together. But
didn't they restore? Was it Invaders from Mars or something?
Yeah, that just got restored.
Yeah, nice 4K came out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
confusing the two of those. So,
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, a lot of them you kind of get them mixed up a little bit.
Here's the plot for that movie: that a spaceship from another world crashes in Arizona desert, and only an amateur stargazer and a school teacher suspect alien influence, with the locals' townfolk begins to act strangely.
okay,
Mhm.
And that's
I think-
on the Peacock.
it's on the Peacock.
It's on the Peacock.
It's on my
So-
Peacock.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I know I've seen it, but it's like we said, they all kind of run together, so I probably don't remember much of it.
There's
But
another one just got released on 4K. Was it the day the Earth stood still, or am I thinking? I got it confused. I think it's the day the Earth stood still.
I don't know. I haven't heard, but I
don't
do.
know.
I love that one.
if a 4K that came out, I would be all over it in a heartbeat. I
Yeah,
love that
that's
movie.
yeah, that's a good one. It's got a great musical score.
Yeah.
Very, very memorable.
That same girl that I was talking about who was making fun of hair in old movies. I went to see the remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still with her, and she thought it was good, and I hated it. And then so we went home, and I said, all right, let's watch the original. And I'm sitting there, and I'm totally enjoying it and loving it, and she fell asleep.
Yeah. I know it's just weird. I don't know, but yeah, that would be a big kind of red flag if you're just started dating.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, I can't really say anything because my wife, she does not like much of the same type of movie that I do. We do have like a what do you call it, a Venn diagram where our interests intersect a little bit, but
Mhm.
it's mostly like comedy stuff. We have a very
Dom's-
similar sense of humor.
I
War of
was
the
wrong.
Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a classic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That,
Yeah, I got that Blu-ray that Criterion put out a few years ago of it.
Mhm.
I don't have the 4K.
Yeah, I rebought it. I rebought just the regular 4K.
Does it look a lot better, or is it sharper? Or
Yeah, a little bit. The sound's really excellent on it.
Mm.
I don't know if it's worth the upgrade though. It was kind of one of those things I wasn't going to rebuy, but I ended up doing it anyways. It's pretty good. I don't
it's
think
got
I would rebuy it. So.
it's got that really good Technicolor look to
Mhm.
it. With the rope, the aliens got the that green light, and it just
Mhm.
Yeah, it looked.
I don't know. I wonder how Technicolor would look sharp.
It looked
up on
good.
4K.
Oh, it looked
Yeah.
good. It's just I don't know if it looked much better than the.
Than the blue.
I'm not sure if it
Hmm.
was I'm sorry. I'm gonna see if it's a new scan or not from that time. If it's probably not. It's probably not a new scan from when that Blu-ray
Yeah.
came out. So
Yeah. When they did that restoration, it's probably either 2K or 4K restoration. Probably 4K. I think most of them do 4K now.
yeah,
So
it
they
doesn't
can-
say. It doesn't say it's a new
Mm,
scan. So
It's probably
it's probably the same one.
same one.
yeah. It just
Yeah.
kind of
Who released that, John? The 4K.
Paramount looks like.
Okay.
mm.
Yeah, it's Paramount.
Okay.
Yeah. If the day the Earth stood still came out, I'd definitely get that one too.
Yeah, I would pre-order that sight unseen.
Yeah. It's about time for that to
Yeah,
come
absolutely.
back out.
Yeah, because it's I was talking in a video that I did a couple of weeks ago. I picked it up. I found it down in North Carolina when I was on vacation. I found a sealed copy of the DVD, and I picked it up for the special
Nice.
features.
Nice.
But the only Blu-ray of it that I have, I know it came out on Blu-ray by itself, but it was like sort of like a budget title. I don't know if it had any special features on it or not.
Mhm.
But I got it with the remake. I bought the remake cheap because it came in a 3-disc set. Hey,
Atta guy.
Albatross. The Albatross.
I'm telling you, you'll
Kenny.
you'll enjoy that.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to watching it.
Kenny recommended. I don't remember. Was I on that episode or was I that the one I wasn't on? I know I saw you talk about it, but I can't remember
Oh no,
Yeah.
that might have been the day that you
that
weren't
I was
here.
out. Yeah.
I think he talked about it twice because I ended
Yeah,
up,
I really like it.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's in
Yeah,
my
'cause
cart, Kenny.
Okay.
because when he talked about it again, I was like, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this because for some reason I thought I'd already bought it, but I didn't, and then I couldn't remember where I'd seen it at because that cover was really familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It looked
okay.
really familiar to me, and I was like,
Mm.
so I ended up buying it too. So I'm
We
looking
should get
forward to
Hamilton Book to
watching
sponsor
it.
this podcast.
They should sponsor them. I give them a lot of money each month, so they should really. I mean,
Yeah.
Mike even had a Hamilton Book
Yeah.
movie right there.
I forget about them sometimes, and then when you guys brought it up, I got on there, and that's where I found Cat of Nine Tails.
Yeah.
It's $27 on Amazon, and I got it for $9. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, every second I'll give you a heads up when they come out. It should be like next week they come out. I got
that's a
that
Hamilton
one
book?
too from Hamilton
Yeah.
Book. It was like $3 or
WUSA.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 3 when I ordered Albatross. I thought, well, I need to pick up a couple more things to make it worth the.
Well, I
shipping
had
and stuff.
ordered mine. And then I seen Sean's video. See, I ordered that and I didn't like that.
City. You
Yeah.
didn't. I think it's
I-
Italian as well.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
And I had got it because it was a Fulci movie, and I had just watched the Tenebra movie. I'm sorry.
That's
if I'm-
Argento.
I think that just came out in
it is?
4K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I didn't like it.
Yeah. Fulci and Argento are both Italian, but you know,
Yeah.
They're different.
They're slightly
different
different.
levels.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fulci
I watched
is,
it and I did not like it at all. I'm like, not good.
Yeah, Fulci is. I don't. Again, I don't really know all that much about Italian horror, but his movies tend to be a lot more bizarre, from what I know. Argento was a little more grounded in reality, but more artistic.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
I think
I've never have seen those movies. Like, what is it, Cannibal Holocaust, and you know what I mean? Like some of
Yeah,
those
seen
early '80s like cannibal type jungle
Man, all
movies.
this stuff we've been talking about, it's on The Last Drive-In.
I was just going to say that
Yeah,
Cannibal.
yeah.
That's
Mhm.
how I seen it. Was on Joe Bob's show.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
watching the hell out of that after I found it. Kenny let me use his thing, so I've been
wow.
watching it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great show.
Yeah.
It makes movies that you wouldn't ordinarily want to watch entertaining, because you'll watch 45 minutes, half hour of the movie, then he comes in and talks for 15 minutes and gives you all sorts of background and information and fun stuff, and then you go back and watch the movie. There's that movie Possession with Sam Neill, and it was made, I can't remember the guy's name, he's a Polish director, and it's supposedly one of the most bizarre movies ever made, and I kept putting it off. I kept putting off watching it. I actually picked it up on the Umbrella Blu-ray from Australia to watch, and it just turned up on last drive-in, and I just watched it, and I'm glad that was the way I watched it for the first time, because I learned so much about that movie, and the backstory of how some of the scenes were shot, and it's just amazing to watch a movie with that, if you're in the mind to watch a movie with interruptions like that. But
I think we all like Monster Vision.
yeah,
Them.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't
I
realize.
always watched them.
I'd forgot that Monster Vision, it came out before Joe Bob did the show. He didn't become host till 95. It came out like 91 or 2, didn't it?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
On TNT channel.
Yeah.
Hey, Shannon, what were you talking about here? New class of recommendation.
Seemed like he had a show on USA, his network back then. Is it USA, or am I thinking about something else?
Giala.
Because he did that.
Yeah,
I think.
Pretty up.
Yeah.
There was a show called Up All Night, I think.
Up All Night.
Yeah, with Rhonda,
and there was,
wasn't it? Rhonda
with
Shear?
Rhonda. Yeah. I remember
That's
watching
where they
that.
had the 80s teen sex comedies,
Yeah.
Zap
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Zapped.
Yeah.
Scott Baio.
Zapped.
Baio.
God, those movies would never be made nowadays. That's just
Oh no.
teen sex comedies.
Could you imagine in like 2023 making My Tutor? It wouldn't happen.
No.
She groomed me.
She'd be in jail.
Well,
getting
Yeah.
35 to life now.
Yeah.
there's a movie called Bottoms that just came out. It's a lesbian sex comedy that takes
Bottoms?
place in high school. Well, don't get too excited, Kenny.
Oh no! I just that stuff.
It's
But
it's
I
not
just
that
thought it was
graphic
an
or anything.
interesting premise. That's all.
No, it is. It's a really cool premise. They form a fight club to basically find partners and well, to get laid, for lack of a
Yeah.
better way of putting it. But then the fight clubs tends to it has more of a resonant feel with everybody that's part of it, because it gives them sort of a sense of belonging and a sense of family that they don't have. But the two girls who form it don't take that seriously because they're just looking to get laid.
Yeah.
But the movie itself is kind of bizarre because it takes place in kind of its own reality. It's sort of at once it's a parody of sex comedies, but it takes all the tropes from sex comedies and kind of melds them together. It's hilarious. Once you can get into the mindset of the movie, it's
Mhm.
funny as hell. But
Did it?
the first half hour is a little strange because you're not sure what you're getting into.
Did it
But-
just come out? Does it just
Yeah.
come out in the theaters?
I think it's still in theaters, but it is available
Okay.
on demand.
It seemed like I
But-
seen the preview for it, and there's a couple
Yeah.
movies that seemed kind of odd. That one, I think, if it's the same one, it seemed like something that might be interesting to watch. It did seem kind
Yeah.
of bizarre.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre. It's like the end of it, you would never see the end of it coming. It's just so out there and hilarious and silly. But my wife
Hmm.
actually sat through it and got into it, so it can't be too out there.
Hmm. Yeah.
But she enjoyed it. She thought it was a lot of fun. And there's a
Cool.
football player whose name escapes my brain. He's in it. Oh brother, I have to look it up. But Beast Mode. You know who Beast Mode is?
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, he's in it, and
Mhm.
he's hilarious. He's not a great actor, but he's still hilarious. He plays one of their teachers. So.
Hmm.
Okay.
Albatross.
That's what she was talking about.
Mhm.
Okay.
Maybe if we keep talking about it, maybe the producers will sponsor our
That
show
would be
or
great.
something.
I'm glad you liked it, Shannon. I really had fun with it. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it's I don't know, John. Maybe we should pursue that Hamilton book sponsorship.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They give us free movies and we can review them.
I wish we could.
Yeah.
I wish we could
All
make that
four
happen.
of us are
That'd be awesome.
monthly buyers from them. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would be kind of cool.
the Hamilton Book Club.
Yeah. We'll change our name, Hamilton Book.
Yeah.
I mean, some YouTubers do that. They'll go right on their website, and just go over everything
Mhm.
like during a sale or something and point out stuff. I mean, we can.
Oh,
do
is that right? Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah. If you ever watch Aaron Penn, his channel,
Oh, yeah.
he does that quite a bit.
He does that with Hamilton Book.
Not with Hamilton Book, but like
Okay.
with Arrow sales, Kino sales, stuff
Yeah.
like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I've seen him do those.
Well, Hamilton Book, if you're watching, I bought twice this month from you guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I just
can't
got
wait
that
for the next
today.
drop.
Yeah. I just got that today and I opened it. And it always comes in a really cool mailer too.
Yeah.
I love their
Just comes
mailer.
right open. Yeah.
The Tootsie Roll mailer or whatever
Yes.
people call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And their customer service is spot on too. Because I had one movie that was actually sealed. It was called Americana with Selma Hayek.
Mm.
She's basically in it for 5 minutes, but the trailer had Selma Hayek,
Yeah.
And I opened it up to put it in. There was no disc in there,
Oh,
and
geez.
it was perfectly sealed,
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
So I called
Yeah.
them up, and literally the next day, they just sent me out another one. In 2 days, I had it.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So their customer service is spot on.
That's awesome.
Ariel,
Yeah, that's
her name
cool.
is Ariel, the customer service person.
Hmm.
Because I thanked her. Ariel Stevens is her name.
Nice.
Way to go, Ariel.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, she's
I'm sure
she's
she'll
right on top of it.
appreciate you doxing her. No.
No, I've thankfully I've never had to deal with our customer service, but their shipping is fantastic. Yeah,
Mm.
that, pulling
Or
that
pulling
tack,
the tack.
that's the
Yeah.
best.
That's exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's usually
And I
exciting
like
for
how
me
they
because
just stay in the
in each
halves.
half. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like.
Yeah.
The only thing you'll see like leak out is the
The receipt.
receipt.
Yep.
You know, and
Yeah.
even the receipt's interesting because it gives you like recommendations for your next time buying. You know
Yeah.
Yeah.
that what you had bought. It's
I
pretty
always wondered
interesting.
if those are actually personalized to you or not.
You know, I wondered that too
Yeah.
because I had
Hmm.
two orders that I did this month. Okay,
Mhm.
they were both different.
I don't know.
So
It's
and
funny.
look, they might have Kenny. You know, let's give this idiot some more. You know, he'll buy from you. You know.
It's funny. The first time I ever ordered from them, I got like 4 or 5 movies, but I didn't see the tab. So I'm sitting there with a knife, like popping out those big staples,
You're
like
right,
big,
Dan.
you know, the big staples.
Yeah.
And then I open it up, and
Yeah.
then after the fact, I see the
Tab.
tab
Yeah.
on there. I'm like, oh god.
I had seen there was
But-
this YouTuber that I really liked. Her name was Marianne Goy Hunter. She was
Oh,
really
yeah.
nice. She was in LA. And I seen her one time, and she had a box, like a moving box that she ordered. She goes, "Oh, well, I'm gonna have to put this in like 2 different videos." And it came in like it looked like a little like a cube refrigerator box, just filled with movies. There had to be like
Wow.
over 100 of them in here, and I
Oh,
didn't see
geez.
them to her next video. And she goes, "Oh, I forgot some." I'm like, "Marianne, you ordered like 100 movies, babe, and you're getting more, you know?"
Oh,
But that's when I seen the the candy pull
yeah.
tab. But I was
Yeah.
like you, Mike. I was like, had to get a damn pair of scissors and a knife or something to just like to open this box up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I always have a pocket knife on me, so I'm sitting there just like, popping them out like nothing, And
I think they're up in your. Mr. Dan said they ship fast. I think they're up in the northeast
I think they're in
area.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah, because literally
yeah.
I placed my order on Sunday night after I watched this guy's video. And I watched it. I placed the order like I think it was like 12:50 or something in the morning, and then like Tuesday it was here.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You
damn.
said, do they ship out of Connecticut for you, Kenny?
I think they do.
Okay, because for
Because
me, they come from Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Could be.
So
They probably have different.
yeah, they
What do you
must
call
have.
it?
I think
different-
vinegar syndrome's from up in that area too, because it don't take me a long time to get stuff from vinegar syndrome either when I order from them. Yeah,
Pulling up my receipt to see where they ship from because it
Probably-
was just like it came like really quick, man.
Yeah.
It, like
They probably have regional warehouses or something.
probably Hamilton Books and vinegar syndrome and several other probably all come from the same place. They just
Probably.
it shipped from
relabel
Philly.
it.
Shipped from Philly.
Oh, okay.
So I
Right.
mean, literally, I'm not lying. I ordered it the 2nd, and it came the 4th.
Yep.
That's how fast you get it. So it's like if you mention a movie or something that's on Hamilton Book, I'll order it and then just have it for the next following week because it's not like you're waiting for it like on the eBay or Amazon. Because
Yeah,
even I've had problems with Amazon.
Mhm.
But
Amazon's been dropping the ball lately. Like I forget what it was that I ordered. Oh, the Flash. I placed a pre-order for it, and the day before it was supposed to come out, they told me it would be 2 more weeks before I got it. And I'm like,
Mhm.
no. So I canceled the order and walked up to Best Buy and got it. I got the Steelbook. I'm like, why? And they do that all the time. Like
Yeah.
they can't tell me when they're going to ship something, and then it's supposed to be there
Yeah.
the day of release, and then I'll get it. Sometimes I get it the day after release. Sometimes I get it a week or 2 later. I'm just like, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah, they've
They're
started doing
all
that
over
to
the
me too.
place. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll
Well-
a lot of times it'll be like, well, and one thing is sometimes you can't even tell when you're ordering something if it's coming from them or coming from like a subsidiary company, like a marketplace type thing, and they
yeah,
Mhm.
Third
and
party
you'll
seller.
place the order thinking, well, some of the stuff might even be Prime. It
Mhm.
might even say it's Prime, but then you'll get it. So, it'll be here like a month from them or 2 weeks from them or something. It's some crazy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it aggravates the hell out of me because you don't know when you order it.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, when I had an issue with Arrow, I'd ordered something and it came in broken, and I contacted them and everything, and they said just keep the broken one. We'll send you a replacement. I got it like in like 2 days, like
That's
later.
awesome.
So I don't know if it shipped from the UK or if they had something regional
Wow.
around here, but I got it so fast. I'm like, wow.
You ordered it from the UK site?
I believe it was a UK site. Yeah, I
Okay.
generally go on that one. Yeah, but
Yeah,
they do have a distributor thing in America too,
Yeah.
because you
I
can order
just
from the US or UK.
ordered
Honey,
something from the UK site, that Hellraiser 4
love
movie
that.
set.
Hmm.
I forget what it's called, the quartet of something.
Did you see that Chucky set that's coming out? It's got
I
all the
did.
Child's Play. Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Is it going to be
I
the
have those on
4K
Blu-ray.
set?
I think it's 4K. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that Hellraiser set's a 4K set too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
not too many, not too much with movies, but I don't have 2 weeks with movies most of the time. But it'll be like oddball items. It'll
Mhm.
order like some kind of toiletry or something weird like
Mhm.
that. Ordered like clothes hangers, and it took like a month to get them. I just left them in my I ended up going and buying some from the store, but I was like, I'll just leave them in there and get those as well. They weren't expensive, so I'll have a whole bunch of them eventually. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but I ordered them. It was like I got them like a month later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
When
I
I
was
ordered I was gonna say I ordered pre-ordered the Night of the Hunter, 4K. I guess it was, what was it? Scream? No, it was Kino, 4K, and it was supposed to, supposed to get it on the day it was released, but I didn't get it till 2 or 3 weeks later, and it was a Prime item and everything. So
Yeah, I was just going to say about even with their shipping, like if not putting them in boxes anymore, they just put them in those like paper
Yeah.
things,
Mhm.
and they just like some of them like are like I've already had like ones that were like cracked, you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
just
cracked
you
and
know,
yeah,
and it was just like
yeah. And then it's got a slip case and get all smashed up on the edges and stuff.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
just worried. Like I'm not like too worried about like the slip covers or anything like that, but like with the movie being cracked,
Mhm.
that's
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
can't even watch the darn thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, that
What else did
that
you
w-
pick up, Mike? I mean, John. I see you
that's
grabbed-
it. I didn't get a
That's
whole
it.
lot this week.
Oh, was
Yeah, I
there a
was going
lot
to
out
say,
this week?
yeah, there's a lot of horror stuff out, but I wasn't too interested in buying
Oh,
some of it on 4K. A lot of 4K horror came out this week, but I didn't really look too hard. There wasn't a lot of stuff I was interested in. I was going to say It Came from Outer Space actually was released in that Paramount Presents
Mhm.
collection. I think that's
Mm,
what it's called, Paramount Presents or whatever. It's the
mm,
nice. I got two of them, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize when I ordered this. I didn't realize it was available, and I was like, I'm not rebuying it. Not for that movie. It's nothing special anyway.
Right.
mm.
So that was probably already a rebuy anyways. I know. I'm quite positive I have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's weird. That happens to me all the time. I'll get the Blu-ray, and then the next week they announce a big deluxe 4K version. I don't know how many times that's happened to me in the
Yeah.
last few years.
you think they'll ever put out like Bogart movies on 4K? Well, besides Casablanca and Maltese Falcon, but you ever
Yeah,
think they'll
Yeah.
do like The Big Sleep? That's my favorite
Yeah.
Bogart.
probably. Yeah, I
Oh,
can
that's
see that one.
incredible.
Yeah,
The
I
Big
think
Sleep's incredible. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, the Maltese Falcon looked really good on 4K. I got that. The black and white. It
Mhm.
looks
Yeah.
great.
And you think they'll ever do any like Wells movies on there too, on the 4K?
Well, they did Citizen Kane.
Oh, okay.
4K.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm
Criterion
thinking
did
like
that.
Wrong Man and
I don't know. I'm sure. Like, yeah.
because I just like see I'm a big like I love film noir movies, and
Mhm.
I just love the shadows. Like
Mhm.
Wells like really capitalized that like in his movies. Like
Mhm.
Mhm.
it's just so good to watch those movies because you get like the shadows and like the reflections in the mirror and just stuff that you wouldn't catch like today.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the Touch of Evil just came out in
Yes.
4K.
Oh,
But
it
it's
did.
yeah, I think it's just region B though, region 2.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Well, if
I
it's
think.
4K, it's 4K. It's
It's region.
Oh
open
yeah,
region.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. They're a
Oh,
UK
okay. I
company,
did not
so
know
I
that.
just
I
yeah,
don't.
it looks pretty good. But I bought that other 4K edition of it when it came out here. What was it, Kino or I can't remember
I
who
think
released it.
Arrow?
I have it. Yeah, I don't have
Yeah,
the 4K. I got the Blu-ray version of it, I believe. So,
yeah.
yeah, that's a
See, that's something I would definitely upgrade because I don't have a 4K player, but if I could get it on Blu-ray, I'd be happy with that because I think I got it at like a Goodwill or something, and it was like actually sealed The Third Man, you know, and I
Oh
just
yeah,
love that. I love that movie.
yeah. I could see them putting that out in 4K.
Yeah, I was just wondering with like the Bogart movies because I was actually kind of surprised they haven't put Treasure of Sierra Madre on
Hmm.
4K.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. But yeah, I'd
yeah.
definitely buy The Big Sleep if that ever came out or
Yeah,
4K. Yeah, for
the
sure.
Blu-ray for that is out crazy expensive, like on the eBay and stuff like that. I think
Yeah,
it was like $48 or something, and I'm like,
The Big
yeah,
Sleep, really,
yeah,
yeah,
seriously,
really.
yeah. I just have a DVD of it, but
yeah, so do I.
it's a great one.
I bought it. I think I got it, Mike, in the Bogart set, the Bogart Bacall
Mm,
set
hmm.
Yeah,
that came out.
Yeah, yeah. I just have a regular version. I think it has 2 versions of the film on there.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I
yeah,
just watched the regular version, you know,
yeah, yeah.
and
That,
even that, if you watch the regular version, man, you have to follow the story because there's so many plot points on there. Because I remember seeing a documentary. I think it was on TCM, as a matter of fact, and they
mm,
said the screenwriter had no idea where he was going with the story for that.
mm.
That it was like rewritten a couple times during the
Yeah,
filming.
I forgot who wrote that. Let me look that up. Was it Raymond Chandler? Yeah,
Yeah.
he wrote that. Yeah. Yeah, I think he had like a drinking problem or something. I heard that he was having issues with
Yeah,
it.
he wrote the novel, and then William Faulkner wrote the screenplay.
Oh yeah, okay,
Because
yeah,
if you notice, there's 3 different people that get credit for the screenplay in the movie. So it was just like it's Faulkner, Lee Brackett, and Jules Furthman get
yeah,
screenwriting credits. So that's
yeah.
like one of them if you had like watched it because I've never read the novel. I think Mike from Gray 51
Hmm.
had
Mhm.
he was doing a Bogart thing, and he actually had the Big Sleep in a novel. And I was
Oh,
thinking
that's cool.
about buying that, but like the prices again, like on eBay, are like astounding because it's like a hardcover, like spined book that
Mm,
he had.
hmm.
So I was thinking about getting that, but I was just like gonna wait until because it's like
Yeah,
when you start watching like different YouTube channels, and it's like they'll have like, oh, this really looks interesting. Like I find like a lot. That's how I got like hooked on your 2 channels, Mike and Sean, from like watching like your reviews of stuff, and I just like write it down, and then I watched Mike's because
Mm.
he likes like the old silent and the like the 40s and 50s, and then you go to Neil's channel, and that he just like opens you up to a whole different kind of like international film,
Yeah.
you
mm,
know.
hmm.
So it's like I literally have just a book. Oh, that's a good one too, The Stranger.
yeah. This is film noir here.
Mhm.
This is
Yeah.
excellent.
I don't have that one on anything. It's one I've missed. The lady from Shanghai is really good too.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a good Kino Blu-ray of that one.
that's when he was married, or they were dating, I think, him and Rita Hayworth during that.
Yeah,
Orson Welles.
they were married.
Yeah, it
and
was
they were.
either they were dating or marriage. I mean, you could tell there was, sparks with those two
Mm,
during the filming of that.
yeah,
I never seen that one, Chimes at Midnight.
I've been wanting to check that one out for years. I just never have done it.
I think
I watched
I have this one.
I got a screener copy of from a company
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Orson Welles, and I didn't know he was like basically after Magnificent Ambersons, he was just basically cast away, like in America, and he did all of his films over in England. I had no idea about that.
Hmm.
If
Well,
I if I
he
have that,
basically got, yeah. I mean, what blacklisted him was Citizen Kane, but
yeah, well, yeah,
but
that too.
he was already under contract for Ambersons, but they kind of took that away from him.
Hmm.
And
You
then
need to
rewrote it.
you need to watch. Well, he had directed it, but he like right at the end, he like, sorry, hang on a second. Right, like when he finished it, he like went to South America to scout another movie, and like they basically took it and cut it the way they wanted to, and just made
Yeah,
a mess
Robert
of it.
Wise cut it.
Yeah.
Hmm. And they threw it all away, all the trimmings of it. That's the big
Oh, jeez.
And it's lost.
loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Have you ever seen The Battle for Citizen Kane? That
No,
documentary? It comes with the
Mhm.
DVD. It came with the first DVD. Well, not probably the first, but it came with the DVD set they released a long time ago.
I do
It's
have the
a it's an
DVD.
it's an
So
excellent documentary talking about
mm,
him and Randolph, William Randolph Hearst and all that stuff. That's because that's
mm,
basically what the movie's kind of Citizen Kane's kind of written about. Is William Randolph Hearst. It's like a loose portrayal, and it's supposed to have like little. Supposed to have little because what's the guy that wrote it? What's his name? Mankiewicz.
yeah. Herman, was it
Herman
Herman
Mankiewicz.
Mankiewicz
Yeah,
or
Herman
or
Mankiewicz. He
or
wrote it
Jeff?
because he always hung around at Sam Simeon with William Randolph Hearst. He kind of knew him. He was kind of friends with. So he was friends with I think the woman that William Randolph Hearst was married to.
Oh yeah. What's her
I can't think of
name?
her name right off.
Is it
But
on that Criterion 4K, John?
yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it comes with that as well. But
Okay.
yeah, but he when they wrote the movie, they they alluded to certain things and possible certain like sexual things that's in the movie that Mankiewicz wrote into the movie and stuff like that. So, William Randolph Hearst was like he came from this. He at the time he owned like the biggest paper. He owned like most of the newspapers in America, and
Mhm.
it was
Yeah, and
he was a
he could.
billionaire in the era,
Yeah,
era where there really weren't billionaires.
yeah, he had a lot of power. So,
Yeah,
and he kind of controlled what was said and
yeah,
everything in the newspaper. So, yeah, that probably had a lot
yeah.
of pressure put on him
So
on the studio.
yeah. So basically, they fought to when the movie came out. They fought to not have it shown anywhere, and he, it didn't end up winning hardly any Academy Awards because of it. But it just won one, I think, for Mankiewicz, one for writing, but the rest of it, everybody's seen it. It's obviously for the time period, it's pretty revolutionary. It's way ahead of
Mhm.
its time.
Oh yeah.
So, you know,
if I have it
yeah.
still, the screener, I'll send it to you guys. It's called American in Odyssey in 1947. It's 2 hours long and it is fascinating as hell. It's about Orson Welles. It's about the whole making of Citizen Kane and then he was doing like when he was like John said when he was blacklisted, he did like a lot with the civil rights activists too, with barring the blacks and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And he was totally against it. And yeah, that movie was so fascinating. Like there was one gentleman, and they actually speak to his kids, and he was beaten up. This black man, he was beaten up, and Orson Welles heard about it, and he was beaten up so bad that he lost his vision.
Mm.
And Orson Welles went and actually supported him. When nobody else would, they all turned their backs on him. like that.
Hmm.
And
That's interesting.
it's a fascinating documentary. But it was like one of those ones that was like, 2 hours and it's going to be like boring, man. It kept you captivated the whole time.
Hmm.
Yeah, after
I love watching
Emerson's,
stuff
he
like
pretty
that.
much had to fight and scrape to do anything. Now he did a few, like Touch of Evil, and a lot of his when he would do stuff like that, it was just simply because it had like a big actor attached to it that he was friends with,
Yeah.
Charlton Heston or something like that, and they just basically were like, "We want him to make the movie," and
Yeah, he
they
went to
had
like
to kind of
they even talk about like him
capitulate.
going to like he like hi- his dad basically like disowned him or something when he was 10, and he went to like a military school or a film school or something. And then it was like a really interesting backstory on it.
Hmm. Yeah,
And like,
he had a real interesting childhood.
yeah, very
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, he was like pretty much deemed a genius as a child too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
You
like
know,
13. He
Yeah,
was like the head of like the drama department at this like all boys school,
Hmm.
you
yeah.
know? And yeah. Oh, you know who was that? Hausman, John Hausman.
Hmm.
He's the one that was head of the department or something. And he said, "Well, the only if I can do it, Orson's going to direct it." And he was like 15 years old directing.
Oh,
These
jeez.
like grown ass adults.
Yeah, yeah.
You
It
know,
was,
it
yeah.
was. I'm gonna drop it in our talk, so hopefully I can find it and give it to you guys.
well, I
So you
mean,
can
speaking
watch.
of War of the Worlds, all that stuff. He was pretty
Oh
young
yeah,
when he did all that.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
radio
Yeah.
show.
Hmm.
Yeah, because he did like you were talking about the black actors. I'm pretty sure he did what was called Voodoo Macbeth in Harlem with
Hmm.
Hmm.
and I think it had a lot of black actors in it for the time period, and maybe all black cast.
Yeah, I think it was
But
all black. Yes.
yeah, for the time. So he did a lot of kind of ahead of his time things back in
Hmm.
back in those days. So it was pretty interesting. And the whole
Yeah.
Mercury Theater was pretty revolutionary for their time and place, I guess.
I believe
Yeah,
that's where he
Oh
met
yeah.
Houseman at.
yeah, I
Mhm.
think so.
John Houseman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of those actors went on to be in his movies too, like Joseph
Joseph Cotton.
Cotton.
Have,
Yeah, as one of them. Yeah.
have you ever seen the Richard Linklater movie called Me and Orson or something like that? Have you seen
No,
that?
I've
You guys
never
seen
seen it.
that?
Mm-mm.
I
I
cannot
think I have.
find it anywhere, but he made a movie called like Me and Orson. It's basically like about Orson Welles. It's like an understudy. I think it's a fictionalized story
Oh,
during that
okay.
kind of, it's not true, but it's like a guy that's got kind of his not an understudy, but kind of his assistant. That's while he's at the Mercury Theater. I think I can't remember what play they were producing at the time in the movie, but
Hmm.
I've not been able to find that movie on physical media. It's kind of an oddball thing. It's
Yeah.
almost like also another Linklater movie, Suburbia. They finally released that just a couple years ago on DVD. It's never had anything but Suburbia
Hmm.
never got released, and it's really
Yeah.
strange. Yeah, that never had
Yeah.
been released.
Yeah. I got that DVD. It is really hard to find, and it's expensive
Yep.
too. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, I think I saw that movie you're talking about, John, on Netflix. Orson and Me.
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty
Orson and
good.
Me. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I haven't
yeah,
seen it on video though anywhere.
yeah. I've looked for it several times. Somebody might find it and right now and be like, "Oh, I found it here." It's possible. It's possible it's out there. I haven't looked for
Yeah,
it in a while.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
sorry
kind of
guys, I didn't zone out on you. I'm looking for this channel. Kenny had mentioned about people channels to kind of open um, your perspective on different types of movies and stuff. And there's this guy I subscribe to, and I can't for the life of me remember the name of his channel. And I'm scrolling through my subscriptions, and it's like he just disappeared. He's always there, and now he's gone. But he did a lot of international movies.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It was around then.
and he recommended a few things that I added to my wish list. just recently.
Yeah, it
and
was good.
It's like his channel was gone. I don't know what the hell happened to it. So
Hmm.
if I find
Yeah,
it, I'll bring it
Shannon,
up.
who played the assistant? It's kind of a big actor, or maybe he's big now, but I can't remember which actor was in it now. I I'm sitting here with the computer. I can look it up like an idiot as usual. So
I think it was Zac Efron.
yeah. I think
Oh.
so.
Yeah, I think it's got like Claire Danes or something in it. Also,
This is 2008. We were close. You were close.
Oh yeah, me and Orson Welles.
Yeah.
There's DVD. They're
Yeah.
pretty cheap on eBay right now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. $5.
Wow. I'll have to pick it up.
yeah, I found one on eBay. It's $9 though, so that's probably the Amazon's better deal. But yeah, I definitely
Like
saw that. It's a good movie.
Zac
Definitely.
Efron, Claire Danes. I'll have to check that out.
Christian McKay. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
definitely.
cool because it just focuses on like the theater days, you know, not so
Mhm.
much his before he made movies, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so much like it doesn't really look like a Richard Linklater movie. It's kind of
Yeah.
he kind of plays it pretty straight, you know. It's pretty standard, I guess, but it's really good.
Yeah, that movie that
Yeah.
I was talking about. I'm still looking for that. It came out in. Actually, it's coming on demand the 12th of September, and it's called American and Odyssey to 1947. And that was really interesting. But when I have more time, I'll look for it and I'll see if they have the link still up. Because that was like one of the few ones that I've gotten that I said, man, can you send over a DVD of that for me? Because that was like really good.
What was the name of that one, Kenny?
And it's called American: An Odyssey to 1947.
Okay.
It's like he's got like a real name, like Stephen Chu or something like that, Young or the kid, and I think he actually narrates it too. But it's really interesting. Like I said, it's 2 hours. It holds your interest. It doesn't sway because there was like a lot of stuff that I didn't know about Orson Welles in that just like really,
Let's go see if it's on the if it might be with the 4K. Now the 4K, have you seen it, Kenny?
of what?
The Criterion.
No, I've seen Citizen King because I have the DVD version of it.
Yeah,
because I got the big bulky pack of it.
So I was just asking if you've seen it. I hated this packaging. I don't know why they did. That's the only thing I complained about. The transfer was great. Everything was great,
Okay.
but okay, it does this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then it does this.
Oh, jeez.
And then it does this.
Oh wow, that's like really a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that, but
yeah, it's aggravating.
I think they wanted to do something special, but I think they kind of did it. They could have done it special another way, I think. But
yeah,
it's got too many flaps. It's very flappy.
Yeah, I like the Criterion one. I know Sean has it. It's that Godzilla one that like has all the movies, the Tojo movies, and it just like that's beautiful. The artwork on there,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only Criterion collection release that I replaced the case on. I still have the original case with all the artwork, but I have it in a separate shelf. I went on eBay and bought somebody made like printed out artwork for it, and so I can put it on my shelf.
That's cool.
Yeah. So because the big thing, it's one of those ones where you have to slide them in and out of the cardboard.
Yeah.
And I was always afraid
and
of scratching.
they do not want to come out either.
Right. Yeah. So I just put them in a regular case and put them on my shelf. And
Yeah.
You actually have to pry up on some of them, the
Mm-hmm.
centers of them with something, to get them out. I can't
Mhm.
figure that out why they did that for.
Yeah, I want to get that set. I'll probably get it during this Barnes and Noble sale or something when it's half
Yeah.
off.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Will
It's a good
will
one.
that be 50% off on
Mhm.
that? What?
It should
Oh, it
be.
will.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of times Amazon will price match it during those sales. A lot of times.
Oh, for the Orson Welles and Me
Yeah.
movie.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
didn't know
what it really
Linkletter
looks
was
like
a
a
young
Richard
guy.
Linklater. Yeah, I don't really know what looks like a
Mm.
Linklater. He's done a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, but you wouldn't. I don't know. By watching it, you wouldn't think it was Richard Linklater for some reason.
Yeah. It almost seems like a movie he got hired to make, not so much something. It's almost like School of Rock, It was
Yeah.
almost something he got hired to make, not so much. It was one of his projects necessarily. It was his
Mhm.
project, but something he didn't, write or,
Yeah. Yeah.
he was just hired to make the movie more so
Yeah.
than it being
Yeah. Yeah.
not like a Slacker or a Dazed and Confused, which is his conception,
Now,
Or
is he
even
the guy that did the?
Boyhood.
Okay, I was going to ask, was he the one that did the Before Sunrise movies and stuff?
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed them. I
Yeah.
think everybody had a crush on Julie Delpy at that point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there's another Ethan
Yes.
Hawke movie that
Mm-hmm.
I was telling Sean, it's like I enjoy watching Ethan Hawke because he does like different movies. Like
Yeah.
he can do a big blockbuster, like say Training Day, and then come back and do like Tesla or
Yeah.
like independent movies. I highly recommend the
Mhm.
the Joanne Woodward and Robert the Paul Newman
Mhm.
documentary he did on Max. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Is that a movie or is that a series?
No, it's a series. It's
Okay.
it's like I think it's either 6 or 8 parts. But
Okay.
I just kept it going, and I just sat and watched it all in one sitting. It was like really really interesting.
Put that
Like
on
they
my
met
list. If it's...
like he was already married at the time, and they were both actually married at the same time, and they started going to the same drama school
Mm.
with like a lot of like people that you'll know today, and they hooked up there. And she went home and she said to her husband, "I'm leaving you." And then he went to L.A. and to tell where his wife was living at the time, and he said, "I'm leaving you too." And they just crashed basically on. There was a famous like actor that he was with, like that he. It was like Cliff Robertson or something like that, and he basically stayed like they stayed on his couch, till they
Mhm.
got enough money on there. I think it was Cliff Robertson. It was like somebody they went to like the film school in New York with.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah.
It's called The Last Movie Stars.
Yeah, Last Movie Stars.
Yeah, I'm adding that to my list right now. One movie with Ethan Hawke that I really enjoyed, but it's really strange. Is First Reformed. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah,
I think I've seen that one.
it's kind of bizarre. I don't really know how to describe it. He's a priest, and he just sort of gets disillusioned with the church, and then it sort of takes a really weird turn towards the end. But he just keeps talking about he keeps hearing like about environmental things and things that are happening in the world with climate change and all that stuff, and he just sort of changes his outlook. But it's by Paul Schrader.
Oh, okay.
He directed it and he wrote it. So it's one of those movies that I recommend to a certain audience, but I don't know that I would recommend it to a general audience because it's not a movie for people who don't like movies, because it gets a little off towards the end. You sort of have
Mhm.
to interpret stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not a mainstream movie at all, but it's really interesting.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. And that's on Max too.
Yeah, that's what reminded me, because I just did a search for Ethan Hawke stuff to find that Paul Newman
Cool.
series,
Yeah,
and that was the first one that came out.
The first thing I ever seen him in was Mystery Date.
Oh,
guys
geez,
remember
yeah.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
like 92 or 90 was something
Yeah.
like that. And it had Fisher
Well,
Stevens
he's
was his
in.
best
Well,
friend.
no, you've seen him before. Then you've seen him in. He's in Explorers.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh goodness gracious, yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
Dead,
Yeah.
and Dead Poet Society.
Yeah,
Right?
You're right. Explorers is such a great movie.
I'm right about that, right? Dead Poet Society. He's in that.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Yeah,
in
okay.
it. He was also in that one scary movie, like Black Phone or whatever that was, a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sean had brought that up, and I watched that. Yeah, he played, and I love those movies. The Before trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy them.
Yeah, that's a good set.
I'll have
And
to pick that up.
that's
I
the
haven't seen those.
Criterion set too, John.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, it's got a lot of extras on there too about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like those movies that and it's about like the relationships and stuff like that, and I just find that like really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Any other Linkletter stuff that I should know about? That's good.
You seen Waking Life?
Who?
Waking
Waking
Life.
Life.
No,
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
That's a good one.
I literally
It's,
didn't know about him until like Boyhood came out, and then it was like, oh, he did the Ethan Hawke movies, kind of thing.
He did a Scanner Darkly too, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did see that one.
That was the name I was trying to. Waking Life's done in the same style. He like shot it in digital and then went back and basically animated over top of the digital.
Mm-hmm.
It's like rotoscoped or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did that ever have a 4K, guys? Scanner Darkly? Because that would be kind of interesting to see.
I don't even know if it has a Blu-ray or not.
I don't.
It surely does, but I have it on DVD. But
I think it has a Blu-ray. I think I've seen it, but I was not a fan of the movie, so I've never been interested in picking it up. I saw it in the theater, and I think it may have been one of those movies where it hit me in the wrong mood, but I didn't like it.
It's actually on Tubi, guys, if you want to see it on there.
Yeah, Boyhood was good as well.
Boyhood was really good.
Yeah, it was kind of a great idea how they did that. Over the it took like 10 years to make it or something.
Who wrote Scanner Darkly, the book version? Who was
Philip
that?
K. Dick.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I was going to look and see if he has. Oh, he did that movie with Jack Black. That's really good. That's I'll have to look at the name of it. It was a true story in Texas.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I know what you're talking about.
Bernie.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I've seen it on the shelf.
You gotta appreciate Matthew McConaughey's cowboy hat in Bernie. It looks like one of those big. I mean, you see like McConaughey's like little head, and you got this big like foam like cowboy hat that he wears. It's kind of funny.
Geez. That's hilarious.
If you watch it, if you watch the trailer for it, you'll laugh because it's kind of amusing to see him with this big ass hat on. And that's like, it looks like you're like 5 years old. You're wearing your dad's like pants or something like that. It's just it's like outrageously too big for his head.
What did you guys think about Everybody Wants Some?
I didn't care for it.
It definitely wasn't my favorite of his, but it's kind of weird to me. I feel like it's like a sequel to Dazed and Confused in a way.
Mm.
It's not, but it's like I feel like it's like that same age group of kids, the next step up in like college.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's supposed to.
I mean, it had me with the. I mean, I'm right in that age group, and I remember some of the stuff, especially like with the roller skating rink and stuff like that. And Hey,
It
when you
isn't-
say Van Halen, I'm good with that.
Isn't it something like something to do with baseball, like the one guy's on a baseball team or summer?
Well,
You
I
know,
think they're like just starting college, but yeah, I think the one guy is like a pitcher for the college baseball team or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
college.
it was pretty good, but I didn't think it would be a movie I'd watch again. So you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it was good, but you know, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't excellent. You know.
Yeah, I was one and done with that one. I mean, I like the one girl on it. Her name is Zoe Deutsch, and she
Mhm.
basically looks like her mother. Her mother's Leah Thompson.
There's
So I was
there's
like,
a movie called I've never even heard of this. That's how bad it's called. Where'd
Oh
you go,
yeah,
Bernadette?
that came
Haven't
out right
seen that.
around the pandemic time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't
I
seen
want to
that.
check that one out.
I
you know,
remember.
Does anybody
like
know?
I like Melissa McCarthy in the movie that she was nominated for an Oscar. Well, the second movie was like one with Richard Harris. I think was his name, Richard Harris. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and it's basically like she's a writer or something like that.
Oh
What
yeah,
was
I
that
know the one you're
called?
talking
She
about.
was nominated for Best Actress, not like supporting actress or anything like that. But you cannot find that like on video anywhere, like to watch or any streaming services, and it's insane because I had wanted to see it when it came out, and it was like playing like in Jersey. Can you ever forgive me? That's what 2018.
Yeah,
You can't find it. You can't buy it anywhere. You know?
you can rent it on Prime for $3.79.
Yeah. Yeah, Richard Grant. Richard Grant was named
Richard
nominated
Grant. Yeah.
for Best Supporting Actor. But it was like, because I remember saying to my mom, "Oh, we'll get that like when it comes out on the DVD or something like that."
Yeah.
Never came out on the DVD. You know, and I was surprised because that was like one of them. Like usually, like the Oscars will like overflow you like the week after or
Mhm.
before with just like this is nominated for an Academy Award or something, but never came out. And just like I always look for it like on eBay or something like that, to get a copy of it just to watch. And
Oh, it's out.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I'm looking at it on eBay right now.
Oh, okay.
It's not very expensive. I mean, there's a copy for $2.90 for $4 of shipping, but
Oh,
you can
okay.
get it for
So,
You can get it for $7 with free shipping.
oh,
But,
okay.
yeah, but it's on DVD. I don't see a
Okay.
Blu-ray. Yeah, I'm gonna check
Looks
that out.
like he has a new movie coming out, or maybe it came out already this year, called Hitman. Richard Linklater.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to see who released it. It might be on Prime Video or something. I don't know if it was released in theaters or not.
Well, it says he's working on a movie that's going to take 20 years to make. He's doing another one of those that, if you look on Wikipedia, he's just started doing something.
It's this Glenn Powell, which you probably recognize him more here.
He looks familiar. Oh,
Yeah, he was.
Was that
Yeah.
Devotion? Yeah.
Devotion, yeah. That was pretty good. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. I liked it.
Really wanted to see it. I picked it up, but I haven't watched it yet. It was one of those
Yeah,
ones that I didn't make it to the theater to see, but I wanted to grab it.
It's got kind of a cast that's unfamiliar. I don't know if this was. I don't know. Seems interesting.
Red is good. Red is funny. She was on Parks and Rec.
Who?
She was
Retta.
Retta.
Oh, her.
Yeah, and then she was in a show with Christina Hendricks and
Oh
What,
yeah.
what was?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Criminals.
I couldn't think who you were talking about. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Retta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're.
Yeah. Good Girls. That was the name of the
Good
show.
Girls. Yeah.
This person looks familiar, but I don't really. No, I don't know.
It's funny how some of them like don't like you'll see an actress and you're like, oh, they all kind of like look alike, and it's like, oh, I never seen these person before,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I feel out of touch when I'll hear like guests on some of the late night talk shows, and I'm like, who the hell is that? Who? You know,
Mhm.
and I really feel my age when I don't know who that is.
Yeah, sorry, sorry, Shannon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was like Richard, like, but I couldn't. I thought of Richard Harris, the first thing that I thought of, but it was Grant.
Richard Grant. He's one of those guys that you see in a lot of stuff, but you can never remember his name.
Exactly, he was like
Yeah.
sort of like Robert Forrester. It's
Mhm.
like you would see him in a movie, and it's just like, who the hell is this guy? You know, I know him from somewhere.
He's that
Yeah.
guy that was in that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because I watched the movie yesterday. Christine. Christine.
Oh,
The John Carpenter one. I
Yep.
haven't seen that since I was in high school.
yeah, me neither.
And yeah, and it was just like, oh God, I know that woman from somewhere, you know. And she was like in a lot of like dramas like in the 80s that you would see, like she would be on Dynasty or, you know, one of those like fringe actresses, you know, that you would see.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
Who
was
is that?
he played the mother.
Alexandra
Christine.
Paul.
Yeah, she was
Okay.
like, she was in
Baywatch. Yeah, that's where I know.
Because
her
I'm
from.
like looking at her, and then they, if you ever see it, they'll say Kelly Preston, and it's like she's in it for like about a sneeze, basically just smiling at lunch, like looking over at the other guy, you know. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, I know this girl Lee, I know her. And I'm just like, and then it's like you have your phone right beside you instead of like the Bolton guide, and you like look it up, and it's like, she's the girl from Baywatch, and it's like, and she was like all in these like, you know, dramas like in the 90s that you would see, you know,
Yeah.
Baywatch nights.
Yeah, like Kelly Preston was hot until she got with John Travolta, and it was just like, yeah.
Do you remember her from when she was in Twins?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
My lord, yeah.
Twins. Yeah.
Speaking of going back to horror, I watched Mother's Day today. I never had watched that before.
The
Charles
original or the
Kaufman
sequel?
Trauma. No, the Trauma.
The original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was on Joe Bob too.
Yeah, that's why I've been watching a lot of
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah. Have y'all seen the trailer to that Thanksgiving movie that's getting ready to come out? The horror movie.
No.
It's directed by Eli Roth, and
Oh,
it looks pretty interesting. Actually,
Wasn't that a trailer on Grindhouse? Or one of the
that's
original
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
One of the fake movies on Grindhouse?
Yeah.
But
That's
it was, I thought Mother's Day was pretty good. A lot of people consider it like a really good movie it's a really good, well-made movie for a trauma movie. I mean, I know like the Toxic Avenger and some of that stuff was pretty decently done, you know, but some things they made weren't so well done.
Did they actually make it, or did they just release it? Because
No,
they did
it's,
both.
well, I mean, it was directed by
Kaufman.
Charles Kaufman. That's Lloyd
Okay.
Kaufman's brother. So
Okay.
yeah, it was definitely technically made by Trauma.
Okay. I was just
Yeah.
curious because I watched a movie the other day called Splatter University, which from the title you can tell is a really fantastic movie. And it was released by Trauma, but it wasn't made by them. But the guy who directed it went on to do things for Trauma. He did Class of Nukem High, which is Trauma classic, but the movie itself was awful, terrible.
A lot of those trauma ones, I can't even sit through. Like I remember in high school, like everybody loved Toxic Avenger and stuff, and I'm like, man, this movie's stupid.
They're an acquired taste.
Yeah.
I like them. I like Surf Nazis Must Die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a weird sense of humor, so I'm up for anything. But man, this movie, dude, just, you know.
If you can't sit through that, definitely don't buy any of their new stuff, because I bought a couple of things and they were definitely crap. I mean, it was like shot on like video camcorder
Yeah.
bad. You know, it was
Yeah,
not.
but you know what, John? When they go on Hamilton Book, another plug. If you
Yeah.
if you see them on those trauma movies, man, they go like within the first hours
Oh
of
yeah.
hitting the site, and it's like I remember sitting through one of them, and I'm like, how do people buy these? You know?
Awesome. Take it easy, Shannon.
See you,
Thanks for
Shannon. Nice
dropping
to
by.
meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yeah, later.
I remember you seeing that,
Interesting.
Dan, in the theater, and it just was like I had just got a set from Amazon that had 4 movies on it. It was like $7.50. It was Christine, Fright Night, The Seventh Sign with Demi Moore, which I actually paid to see in the movies. That
So
movie
did
was
I.
really awful. And the reason why I basically bought it was for the 1988 Blob.
Oh yeah.
I really Shawnee Smith, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to meet her once. It was pretty
Did
awesome.
you really? Is she really
Yeah.
that tiny?
She's small. Yeah.
Is she? Yeah.
Yeah. I met her at the I went to a Texas Frightmare Weekend, which is a big horror convention down in Texas in Dallas, back in 2011, and I must have picked one of the best years ever to go because she was there with the cast of Saw, with Carrie Elways, and
Oh wow.
then they had Costas Mandylor was there,
Mhm.
and then they had the cast from Boondock Saints was there.
Oh wow.
The Human Centipede, director of Human Centipede was there. Tom Six, and then Dieter Laser. I got Dieter Laser's autograph. I also stood at a urinal next to him. That's one of my finer moments.
Cool.
Who else was there? Roger Corman was
Oh,
there.
wow.
Malcolm McDowell was there. I got his autograph.
It's a good set, Dan.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, Shawnee Smith I was very surprised when she ended up being there because I always had a crush on her from summer school.
Summer School. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was the pregnant girl in Summer
Yeah.
School
Yeah.
for you people out there. But
Yeah.
yeah, she was always. And then Harry Crumb. She was in Who's Harry Crumb with John Candy too.
I've never seen that all the way through.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good. It's. I remember seeing it in the movies. Me and my mom, and my brother. There was 5 people in the movies on opening weekend, so I kind of knew it was going to bomb at the box office.
Yeah.
But man,
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off watching that. You know,
Yeah.
because he does different costumes. He's like sort of like the man of 1,000, costumes and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. I'll have
But
to check that out.
you have to watch it. It's really funny.
Yeah,
What was
there's
the- Oh, go ahead. Sorry, John.
there's I think it's Mill Creek has like the VHS style case slip cover on the Blu-ray of Who's Harry Crumb. There's a
Oh,
version.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
Me.
there's a version
See
of
if I
that out.
pick that up. I was going to say, what is it was like a semi-dramatic movie that John Candy made, Only the Lonely.
Yeah.
That's a great movie, and you cannot find that anywhere.
Yeah, that's not available anywhere. That played at my theater, and I never got a chance to watch it. And
It is so good.
Is that the one with Maureen O'Hara?
Yes,
Yeah,
and Ali
yeah,
Sheedy.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
When you guys have a chance, look up the Johnny Carson show with Maureen O'Hara and him. He Belushi and John Candy were like really close together. They were best friends in real life. Jim Belushi, and he was in the movie with her, and they gave John Candy this big huge trailer, and then Maureen O'Hara had this like little basically closet John Candy said. And Jim Belushi said, next day I come in and John's in the little trailer and Maureen's in John's trailer. And he said, John, why did you, because apparently Candy was like a really party guy. He would party with the cast and like order a lot of beer and food and pizza and stuff like that. And he said, why did you give up this big trailer? And he goes, hey, she made a movie with the Duke.
Yep.
That's Maureen O'Hara, Quiet Man,
Mhm.
And he said, yeah. And that took like a lot of, if you watch that Carson interview, took a lot of finagling with Chris Columbus and John Candy to get her out of retirement because she quit the business to raise her kids.
Yeah.
She was married to an Air Force man, and she said once I got married, I wanted to have kids. She quit the business, and she said, "Yeah." She goes, "I talked to this new guy. He's a big guy, John Candy, like that with that accent." And she said, "I said, oh, I can't make it over there." And he had they were talking to him in like the office in like New York or something, and she lived in L.A. He hopped a flight right to L.A. to go meet her, and he said the next day this gentleman Candy's at my door knocking, you know. And she said the whole day, what a charming fellow. He just, didn't want me to get up for anything. He ordered food and we had a great talk. And he said, I talked to that Christopher Columbus guy and I made the movie. It's a pretty cool interview that she does with John Candy because Carson was so infatuated with Maureen O'Hara, during that whole interview. It's a really good. If I find it, I'll send it to you guys in our spot.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, but that I wish I would have picked that up like on DVD because I had the laser disc of it, of Only the Lonely, and when I moved, I got rid of all my laser discs. So it was like I didn't know it was that rare that you couldn't find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just searching on eBay. The DVD's going for like $50.
Yeah, I wish somebody would put that movie out like on the Blu-ray.
I would think they would because John Candy's, still.
Oh yeah.
A name, people still.
Yeah. And I think that was made in 93, right?
I think 90, 91.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think 91.
Yeah, because I got out of the theater business for a while in 92, and it was like a year before that, so I'm thinking 91.
Yeah, it was 91. I was thinking it was later than that, but that movie, if you guys haven't seen that movie, is a must watch for John Candy fans.
Yeah, I'm gonna track a copy down some way or another.
Yeah, because even his daughter was interviewed, and she said that Dad was a cross between Uncle Buck and the guy that you see in Only the Lonely.
Okay. Yeah, he got pretty good reviews for that, from what I remember.
Yeah, well, the one that really got him over was the JFK, the little cameo.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
in JFK.
Yeah. Oh,
he was so good in that.
Yeah.
And because he was starting to get drama parts after JFK, and then he did that terrible Wagons East. I haven't even watched it yet because it upsets me because he had just passed away.
Which one?
Wagons East.
Oh yeah.
Is that with?
I don't think
Richard
I've ever
Lewis?
seen
Richard
it either.
Lewis.
Yeah.
I can remember. Yeah.
I'll never watch that movie, but it was just like he was just starting to get drama parts, after making because that's how he basically got Cool Runnings made. Because he was infatuated with the story, and he basically went to Disney and said, "Hey, I want to make this movie." And he goes, "Oh, we can't pay you." So he basically took scale and basically like After the Profits kind of thing, like deferred kind of thing. But he only got scale for that movie, Cool Runnings, and it was big. That was like one of their big hits of the year for Disney, or Touchstone, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Was he in a movie called Canadian Bacon?
Yes, he directed that one.
Okay.
Yeah. That was another one that you'll see like all of his friends in it: Eugene Levy, Dave Thomas, Maureen O'Hara.
SCTV, pretty much.
Yeah, you'll see like all those guys pop in and out of it.
I always remember that line. There's like an old guy, like a military guy in there. He's talking about Vietnam. We should have went nuclear.
My favorite, like of all the ones, was I wish he would have done a Johnny LaRue movie from sleazy. He was so great in that, that role. It was just like, and it was just like with him like smoking a cigar with those like sunglasses on and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I kind of think he got that kind of from. He turned Johnny LaRue into the cop in Blues Brothers. but he was like a real scum.
Is
scum.
is the Johnny LaRue character? Is he the filmmaker that's always
Yeah.
trying to get something?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he would like
'Cause he-
cruise around with the camera guy and start going, "Okay, we're gonna shoot right now."
Yeah.
well, in the first season, I think because he first wants like a crane shot. He just wants that high dollar crane shot, and it gets him fired off. And then he's like throughout the rest of the like series, it goes on for 2 or 3 seasons where he just keeps getting demoted down further and further, and he's eventually just a man on the street character. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, because he did one, and Eugene Levy tells a story was they didn't have permits back then for
Mhm.
anything. So he said they would just grab a film crew and just go, "Okay, we're going to shoot here." He said John almost got his ass kicked when he went in that bar. If you ever see the bar scene that he goes into, and he's wearing the suit with the sunglasses and the ascot and shit, he walks in there and he said, and it's like all bikers. And he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna film in here a couple of minutes, guys," like that, using his voice. And he said one guy just started to grab a bat, and when he seen the bat, he was like, if you see like at the end of that, you can actually see him running out of there and jumping in the car, and people, that was real. Eugene said, because I was driving the car, and he went, "Step on it," and he like literally jumped in the car. But that was so funny. Hearing the backstories of it make it even funnier. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah,
But
that's hilarious.
yeah, I remember seeing it, and I'm like, oh, they must have took many takes of that. That was one take because that was real.
One
And
take and run.
They kept it.
I can't believe they made Strange Brew out of the Bob and Doug
Yeah.
McKenzie characters.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they
I've always loved
literally,
that movie.
well, if you watch SCTV, they're literally like 30-second clips most of the time. It's
Mhm.
like maybe a minute. But I think what it was is the reason. Oh, and in fact, I think I know the reason why they put it in there, and it was because they had to, like, if you got Canadian funding on Canadian television,
Mhm.
if you got any kind of funding, you had to make certain amount of your program had to be dedicated to Canada. So it had to be Canadian theme. So
Is that right?
it had to be like a small percentage had to be like Canadian themed. So they would put the Bob and Doug McKenzie in there and do like the overtop Canadians, like the Great White North segments, just so
Yeah.
they could get that money,
funding.
get that. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember there was like a bar always like around their corner or something like that when they were good. Go get that beer. Yo,
Yeah.
you hoser, go get the beer. It's
Hoser,
only
yeah.
down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always talking about Canadian bacon too on there. I think they call it back bacon or something. It's like, cook me another piece of back. I can't remember what they call it there, but it's not. They don't call it Canadian bacon because they're in Canada, but it's just
Right.
Yeah.
bacon. Yeah, but they're always frying something and drinking.
Yeah.
I just remember all the beer cans like laying around their apartment or their house or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's one
That's a great
I
movie.
don't own that, so I might have to pick that one up.
That's a
too.
good. That's one that you go back and watch. Then it's funny. I think it's funny. I think it still holds up pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuff like that just makes you laugh, and sometimes you just need to put something on that's like not you don't have to think.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it starts out them like watching. It's like a kind of a fourth wall kind of thing. They're like watching themselves and on the screen, and then they like everybody's. It's just them up there doing like the Great White North segment, just sitting there, drinking or whatever, and everybody starts booing and throwing stuff at the screen, and they get ran out of the theater, and then the movie starts. Then and they get in their van and go home, and then they're pouring the dog one of the beers they pour in the dog's bowl for the dog, and
Yeah.
Do you think Wayne's World was inspired by that movie?
a little
Like
bit
breaking the
maybe.
fourth wall and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I'm sure there was probably, Saturday Night Live and SCTV. They
Yeah.
a lot of those people knew each other, so it's
Yeah.
hard to say.
Yeah, I didn't know this until I seen a documentary. Candy was like basically in the cast, and he didn't want to leave his wife. Then his wife up in Canada, so they
Oh,
got
for
this
Saturday
guy.
Night Live.
Yeah, for Saturday Night Live, and they brought this guy Belushi in because Aykroyd knew him.
Wow.
That's a true story. Candy was one of the first
Wow.
guys, and because a lot of the writers knew him and his what a good guy he was and stuff like that. And yeah, because there was even talk of him taking over when Chevy left, and they got this other guy, Bill Murray, if you heard of him, to take over for Chevy. Yeah,
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they actually got in an altercation behind, like, I think it's during the second season. I think Chevy Chase had came back to do a guest
the
appearance.
host.
Yeah, and they got an altercation because he's like basically said, "Why'd you fucking leave?" and kind of deal, and kind of they got fist fight because that's why when they made Caddyshack, it was real awkward because they only had that one scene together, and they're both really good in it, but they didn't hang out or nothing at all. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I read, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong. They said Murray was like really drunk during that scene in Caddyshack because he didn't want to deal with Chevy.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I wasn't wrong about that.
Yeah,
because I heard he didn't want to deal with him at all.
It's a good scene though.
Yeah. Very good
It's
scene.
Yeah.
Cannonball.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to get that one too. I don't have that on video.
What?
The
Caddyshack?
comic timing so good on that scene too. It's like Chevy when he turns around and he says, "Thanks for the dope."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when he goes, "Can I play through?"
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we talked about how Rodney Dangerfield was
God.
really good in that movie too. So
Yeah.
it's got a lot. It's got a lot of good stuff going on in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I always, every time I hear Kenny Loggins, I go to that. People go to Footloose. I love Footloose. Don't get me wrong, but I go to that. Where it's just like him going, like the pool scene. I don't know the song. I'm sorry, but I just remember that when the caddies get the 15 minutes to do the just like flood the pool.
Yeah.
I just remember Cindy Morgan. That was her name.
Oh yeah.
The actress's name.
Then there's a part where there's a part they put the baby Ruth in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's during that scene. Yeah. What's her name? Lacey Underall. Is that it?
Yeah.
Her character
Lacey
name.
Underalls.
Classic.
But I swear I remember finding that, and I just when I seen it on VHS, and I'm like, who is that girl? It's like I kept on like looking for like in all the Leonard Maltin movies and stuff like that. She didn't do too much, did she?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Mm.
I'm trying to think here.
Yeah, I just remember her name because I was like so infatuated with her. She did. Oh, she was in Tron too. Tron, we should know that.
Yeah.
Oh, Cindy Morgan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cindy Morgan.
Oh, she did. She did do like TV shows like Crazy Like a Fox and Fall Guy.
Cool.
Vegas. Dantana is Vegas.
Yeah.
I love that show because he had his car in his house. So if you ever watch the show, this is stupid, but if you ever watch the show, he rolled out, talked to his secretary, and then he just got in the car that was basically next to his bed, and he just pushed it. I'm telling you, it's stupid. But when you're 8 and 9 watching that stuff,
that's the ultimate bedroom.
Yeah. It's like, man. Because I remember saying to my mom, I can't wait to get a car like in there. She goes, are you gonna live in the damn garage, Kenny? And I'm like, no, man, it's like literally in there. And when she watched it, she goes, "Only you could think of that." And I'm like, "It's on TV."
Well,
That
fellas,
was-
we're over 3 hours. And
Oh,
I think it's about time to get off
Yep.
here. I think everybody probably ready to go.
Nighttime. Yeah.
So, for everybody still listening, next week I think next week's Mr. Dan, correct?
Yes, I believe Mr. Dan is next week.
Next week's Mr. Dan, and 2 weeks from now will be. Let's
No, I
see
think next
here.
week's Katie, right? Next week's Katie, then Mr. Dan, and then your friend.
Okay,
right?
am I backwards? Yeah. We
Yeah.
got Mr. Dan, Katie Warman, and then Lauren from crap. What's her?
Analyzing horror.
Analyzing horror. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Horror. Yes. And
Cool.
so where can we find everybody at? Where can we find you at, Mike, on the internet?
The internet. I'm on the interweb on Mike's DVD and Blu-ray collection. Also, it's a old movie Mike or something like that. Well, is my handle.
Sean, where can we find you?
I'm on all the social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Twitter, or X, or whatever the hell it is this week. As Movie Assault.
Kenny.
And I am at Kenny's Movie Palace on the YouTube, on Instagram. It's Kenny down space 19, Kenny Jones 19. So
Mr. Dan
there
says
you go,
looking
Mr.
forward to
Dan.
it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and
too.
I'm the same. I'm Low IQ Media on Instagram and on YouTube. And I found my old Low IQ Media Twitter page, the actual Twitter one. I thought the one that got banned, I thought it was Low IQ Media, but I got it. But I've got to get the password straightened out now. So I've got it. So I've got that old one. I've got one. You can find me now, but it's under Filmological 1. The heading's Low IQ Media, but it's Filmological 1, so it's confusing.
And I think Mike has a MySpace account too.
MySpace.
MySpace.
Well, I got a Facebook page for my channel, but it's not been updated in a long time. I don't keep up with it much anymore.
Yeah, the Facebook I keep, that's just like my private stuff, talking about the Phillies and the Eagles. So just basically family and friends for Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for leaving your comments this evening and joining us, and I hope you guys make it back next week. We'll be talking more horror. And did you say Katie's next week?
I think it's Katie, then Mr. Dan,
so.
and then the other young lady that you invited.
Analyzing horror. Yeah.
Well, if Katie's with us next week, we'll be probably talking about found footage horror movies or found footage movies in general, sci-fi horror. So you guys should look forward to that. We should have a lot of fun, and
if it's
see you guys back here next week.
Mr. Dan, we'll be doing Hammer horror.
Cool. Yes, Mr. Dan.
Because he's really knowledgeable about that.
Awesome.
Cool.
And with Lauren and analyzing horror, she wants to do the zombies. We're going to do zombies, which is my favorite too. So that'll be a fun evening.
Can we get the trademark for the Cranberry song for that week?
No, we got to keep with the Hamilton books.
That's right, Hamilton book. We love you. All four of us are. We go to your beautiful site every week. And Ariel Stevens, if you're watching at customer service, thank you. Thank you. That's from the heart.
Right. Good night. Well, good night, everybody. We'll talk to you guys later.
See you guys.
Yeah. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
See you.